and he fills it. Martin on the backhand, he scores. Another shot and he scores. Gustav Stjernberg, Brody Waters tips it in for the Bowling Green goal. Back over the middle to the inside. What a save from Cole Moore. Oh, a mid-ice hit from Gustav Stjernberg, forcing the puck free. Brody Waters hat trick.
I don't believe it. The champagne is flowing in Bowling Green.
Welcome into the Mayo Clinic Health System Event Center here in Mankato, Minnesota. Ben Korak here from the Falcon Media Sports Network in Minnesota for the second time this season as Bowling Green sets to face off against the Minnesota State Mavericks in Mankato, the fourth CCHA regular season series of the season for Bowling Green. For all BGSU hockey and other athletics news and updates, go to bgfalconmedia.com or BG_FMSN on Twitter. And for our re-uploads of broadcasts as well as highlight packages and other video content, go to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel, give it a follow, and give every video you watch a like. We do some pretty good work, so go show your gratitude for the stuff that we do. Before we get started today, special thank you to Rick Crow for sponsoring our away hockey travel all season for the Falcon Media Sports Network. He is the reason that I am here in Mankato, Minnesota. So thank you, Rick Crow, for sponsoring, and he will have sponsored the first and second intermission report, so stick around for those as well. The Falcons have probably one of their toughest opponents of the season outside of Western Michigan and Ohio State, and is Minnesota State, a CCHA team who is currently number 13. They were 15 coming into this week, but number 13 right now in the RPI rankings, which takes into factor their winning percentage, the winning percentage of the teams that they have beaten and faced across the season, as well as some other factors to rank teams statistically. They're number 13 in the nation right now. They have a win over Michigan in a split series, a win over North Dakota in a split series. Both of those teams were top 10 in the nation when they beat them. They have 2 wins over Omaha, who at the time was number 16, and they are currently on a 7-game unbeaten streak with only wins and ties during that streak. The last time they lost a game was in their first CCHA game of the season to Bemidji State earlier in the season, a fellow Minnesota team. That was their last loss. They've taken care of every other team since then. Michigan Tech, 2 wins last week. Northern Michigan, they took a win and a tie against. St. Thomas, they took a win and a tie against. And then Bemidji State, they had a win and a loss to open up the CCHA season. So what's impressive about Michigan, Minnesota State? What's so impressive about Minnesota State and how well they played this season? Well, it's a combination of a lot of things, and mainly their defense. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's start with their offense. They don't have the most stifling offense in the CCHA. They're third in goals scored per game with 2.5. They're third in total goals scored with 40, and they're third in shot percentage as well with just over .101 shot percentage. They are first in the CCHA in margin of victory by 1 with the toughest schedule in the CCHA, if I do say so myself, and are tied for 10th in the NCAA in margin of victory. So not the best offensive team in the NCAA. They do have 5 players with 5 goals. No players with more than 5 goals, but they do have 5 players with 5. 4 of those 5 players have 6+ assists, and 4 players total on the team have 10+ total points. Just for reference, the Falcons have only a couple of players with double-digit, actually only 1 player with double-digit points, I believe. So you're talking about a team that has pretty much outscored Bowling Green on the entire season and played pretty stiff competition to boot. This is the impressive part that I believe of this Minnesota State team is their defense. Their defense is locked down. They are tied for first in the NCAA with Michigan State University, current number 2 team in the NCAA. With 1.48 goals against per game. So they're allowing less than 1.5 goals per game. That's an impressive feat for the defense in general. They're third in blocks, which also definitely helps. 212 blocks on this season. They're also third in penalties given up in the CCHA, only about 7 penalty minutes per game. I believe the leader in the CCHA is somewhere around 6, so they're not that far off. They don't get penalized. They play great defense, and it really helps when you have a goaltender in the net that is objectively the best goaltender in the NCAA. Alex Tracy has 1.48 goals allowed per game with a .947 save percentage. He was the co-goaltender of the month for the NCAA in the month of November. He's the only goalie of record this season for Minnesota State, and he has just been absolutely fantastic in net for them. The junior out of Chicago, Illinois, Alex Tracy, on average, he's allowing 1.5 goals allowed per game, so less than 2. And for a Falcon team that struggled to get the offense going, he's a big roadblock in the way of the Falcons. He's going to throw everything he can at Bowling Green. He's had some pretty lucky performances lately, but he's got 3 shutouts on the season, including one to North Dakota, who was the number 5 team in the nation at the time. So he is an impressive player, probably the most impressive player for Minnesota State, and the best goaltender in the NCAA, and the Falcons are going to have to beat him a couple of times outright today to get ahead of Minnesota State and hopefully come away with some points in the CCHA. And Falcons haven't won outright since the Ferris State series, 1 month and 4 days to be exact, since they won a game outright. They have won in 2 shootout matches, but they haven't won outright in a month and 4 days, with 2 bye weeks in there as well. Offensive struggles have really plagued the Falcons. 7 goals in the last 4 games, 11 given up. So they're being outscored in the last 4 games to their games against St. Thomas and Michigan Tech. But they've just simply been outscored. They haven't really got the offense going. Their power play has been pretty decent. They have 3 power play goals out of their 7 total goals scored in the last couple of weeks. They're making some really great pass attempts. Just some of those passes aren't landing. They're looking the right direction. They're just a little bit too behind, a little bit too forward of the guy getting a great shot off. They're just inches away from having a lot more goals and a lot more opportunities. So we'll see if they can remedy that today against a very highly defensive Minnesota State team with pretty great defensemen as well. The Falcons also just really not finishing on key opportunities. The power play is one. Their power play is not the greatest so far in this season, I should say, this campaign. 220 power play percentage on the season. Minnesota State's got a 158, so they are beating them in power play percentage. But the penalty kill for the Falcons is a little bit lower, a 745 compared to an 804 for Minnesota State, again stemming from that defense. So the special teams for Bowling Green have been decent, but not to where you would like them to be. And they're severely bolstered by Brody Waters' 3 power play goals in 1 game, and when he had the hat trick. So without Brody Waters having the best game of any Falcon on the season, you're pretty low in the power play rankings, and that's just how it's been going for the Falcons lately. They need to be able to execute on the power play a lot more than they have. Their gift plays, and I should say their breakaways and their takeaways from the other team, especially when they have odd man rushes, they haven't really been able to capitalize a whole lot. I can count on my hand the number of times that they've had a true good chance on a breakaway, and I can count with 2 fingers the number of times that they put on a goal off those breakaways. Ryan O'Hara is one. He's had a lot of breakaways on the season, hasn't been able to get his first goal. He's sitting at 9 points on the season, tied with Brody Waters, who has 6 goals and 3 assists, but Ryan O'Hara has done it all with helpers, which is impressive, but you would really like him to get a goal and get going before you get into the meat. Well, you're already in the meat of the CCHA. You're playing the best team in the CCHA, so you really need to get Ryan O'Hara going and capitalize on every attempt, because Minnesota State's not going to leave a lot of open opportunities for you, and you got to take what you are given. The defense for the Falcons has been pretty good lately, so I am more or less expecting this to be a pretty defensive matchup today. You can only hope from the Falcons and from Minnesota State. Minnesota State's got a great first-line defense of Mason Wheeler and Campbell Psychos. Great defenseman, number 5 and number 8, will be starting in this game. Luke Ashton has a wicked wrist shot. He's going to be in the power play unit for sure. And his line mate, Jordan Power, that's a great second line for Minnesota State. Their third line's pretty decent as well. Ralph Bergmanis, transfer from Vermont. And we had Evan Murr last season, who's an absolutely stellar defenseman. And he's forced to the third line because of how good those first 2 defensive lines are for Minnesota State. And again, when you're playing ahead of Alex Tracy at some pretty good stopping in front and some pretty good stopping in general. The Falcons defensive unit today, Ben Wozni and Breck McKinley is the first line. Eric Parker and Gustav Stjernberg, who's back in the lineup today as the right defender. He's going to be with Parker today on the second line. Dalton Norris and Tommy Passanen will get the start for the Falcons today on the third line. And Jack Blake has earned his way back into the lineup with some impressive performances as of late. He was on a clean line of defense because Sternberg had been out for the last 2 series. Sternberg is back in the lineup. Jack Blake is also in the lineup, just showing the trust that Willie has in him so far this season. And now Willie's played, especially defensively, the last couple of games. But they've still had some defensive mishaps. In the game that Christian Stover started in the net for the Falcons, the second game against Michigan Tech, they had a 2-goal lead. And then on 2 straight defensive breakdowns, they left Stover out to dry. On one, they scored the first goal. On one, they scored the second. And actually trying to stop the puck, Christian Stover got injured to some extent. Don't know how bad it's going to be. If I had to speculate, it would be a groin injury based on the way that he was stretching and unable to get up after that play against Michigan Tech, but there's no word yet on what's going on with Christian Stover. He's only played 1 game with those 43 assists and 2 goals allowed. He played great, but he should not have allowed 2 goals because the defense in front of him did not really help. They need to help out Cole Moore. They needed to help out Christian Stover in the last game as well. Moore has played fantastic this season, but hasn't really had the stats to show it. A 2.81 goals allowed per game with a 9-10 save percentage. Certainly respectable, but he's played better than those numbers and the 5-5-1 record show. So we're looking for a great defensive performance today, hopefully helping out Cole Moore a lot and giving him some help from both the blue line and then the defensive zone as well. On the end of the penalty kill, it does help a lot that Sternberg's back in the lineup, because when he is on the ice and not taking penalties, he's one of the best penalty killers for Bowling Green. The other problem is Ethan Scardina is serving out a game suspension this game for his hit against Michigan Tech last week in the corner of the boards. If you go to bgfalconmedia.com, you can read the article I posted a couple days ago about the fact that Scardina will be suspended for this game. I didn't think it was a suspension-worthy hit, but the CCHA deemed that it was and wanted to make sure that he was punished sufficiently, which I completely understand. He has been the second or third line centerman in every single game this season. This will be the first game that he's going to be scratched, and the captain will sit in the stands and watch this game today, because he will be back tomorrow, but he won't be able to play today. He's been the best forward penalty killer for the Falcons, next to Seth Fighton and possibly Jackson Niedermeyer. So that's going to be a penalty kill unit that's going to be a little bit thin today. It does help that Sternberg's back in, but you're going to be missing the Ethan Scardina absence from the lineup today. And again, Cole Moore in the net for the Falcons. Sure, he's going to do a fantastic job. He really doesn't blow up a whole lot. The defense just needs to help him out a lot, and especially against a Minnesota State team whose defense is some of the best in the CCHA and in the nation as well. Their defense has to be rival the Mavericks defense and have this be a defensive match. The Falcon starting scorers and forwards, the left winger Brett Foe, the centerman Ville Imonen, and the right winger Adam Zonka, 2 newcomers in that lineup, Imonen and Zonka. Not so much by this point in the season, but I think both of them have played very well. They're definitely possession guys, play without the puck guys. Not a lot of scoring, only 6 points between Zonka and Imonen, but 6 points from Brett Foe as well. So he's the scorer on that line. Look for him to get going and get some good passes from both Imonen and Zonka in this game. That will lead us into our Pick the Stick for today as we close in on 8 o'clock here in Central Time in the Mayo Clinic Health System Event Center in Mankato, Minnesota. Lucas Kleinmeyer, our sports director, chose Ben Duran today. He said jokingly that he likes his hair, the ginger hair of Ben Duran, but Ben Duran is one of the leading scorers on the Falcon team. 5 points, 2 goals, 3 assists. It's been a while since he's got a point or a goal, so I'm sure Lucas Kleinmeyer is playing the do game with Ben Duran. Tyler Kavlitz has chosen Cole Moore for Pick the Stick. We are allowing goaltenders to be chosen. Cole Moore will start out with 3 points in this game, and he will lose 1 for every goal that he gives up, and that's a pretty fair line considering he is giving up almost 3 goals per game, so logically he should be at 0. Cole Moore will be the selection of Tyler Kavlitz today. He's banking that he has a pretty good game. Nate Hinners, our board op back in the Cooling Center in Bowling Green, Ohio, has chosen Ryan O'Hara. Thinks he's going to get on the scorecard a couple of times today. He's the assist leader for the Falcons with 9, but doesn't have any goals yet on the season. I don't know whether Nate is expecting him to get a goal or an assist, but he's going to get a point per goal and a half a point per assist. That's going to be the scoring breakdown for the forwards today. And then my choice in today's game between the Falcons and the Mavericks, I'm going to choose Adam Zonka. He's on a very good line, very solid line, with Brett Foe and Ville Imonen. There seems to be a lot of breakaways when Foe is on the ice, and Zonka is going to be on the opposite side of that. Play without the puck is very strong for Zonka. He's only got 1 assist on the season. I think he's due for another point, and he's going to be playing the entirety of the game today, and I'm sure a lot of assists with Imonen and Foe, his line mates. So with that, we will take a step back for a few moments, and when we bring you back, we'll have puck drop here in the Mayo Clinic Health System Event Center in Mankato, Minnesota. Ben Korak from the Falcon Media Sports Network calling BG Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Look through your children's eyes to see the true magic of a forest. It's a storybook world for them. You look and see a tree. They see the wrinkled face of a wizard with arms outstretched to the sky. They see treasure in pebbles. They see a windy path that could lead to adventure. And they see you, their fearless guide through this fascinating world.
Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hey everyone, Falcon Media Sports Director Lucas Kleinmeyer here. You're listening to WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
Papa, why can't we telegraph while riding a horse?
Son, there ain't no one to blame but Jeffro. He was riding old Betsy the Stallion, tip-tapping away at his telegraph, when blam! Ran right into the side of the saloon.
Well, if Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
This is you over 30 years ago.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
And this is your mom now.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Roles change without us noticing. That's why AARP gives you the information to provide even better care for your loved one. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Green, green, green. It's your home, it's your dream. Radon testing, keep it healthy and clean. Make it green, green, green.
Making it green is making sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Testing for radon is easy. Just call 866-730-GREEN.
Make it green, green, green.
A message from the U.S. EPA.
On November 16th, 2024, BGSU Volleyball defeated Ohio in 5 sets, clinching their 7th regular season championship under head coach Daniela Tomic. Falcon Media Sports Network's Chaz McNeil had the call on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Picked up on the attack, Archinska off the block, saved by LaPinta. Over is on the attack is Hovey. The Falcons have done it. Bowling Green will host the MAC Tournament. Regular season championship returns to the orange and brown.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
The average time a resume spends on an HR manager's desk is 7 seconds, and most of them are tossed aside. Now imagine if one of those resumes belonged to Yasmin, who was
living in a shelter, juggling 3 jobs. I had to be resilient. That's something that you can't teach.
We rely so much on a resume, yet it could never tell the full story of someone who
had to be independent and take initiative. And that's how I handle every project I get.
Discover new ways to develop great talent at gradsoflife.org. Brought to you by Grads of Life and the Ad Council.
You pledged your life to serve. You made sacrifices, lost loved ones,
At VA, we don't see the falls you've taken. We see the 1,000 times you've stood back up. We embrace your uniqueness and won't trivialize your hardships. We can't promise to heal all wounds or wash away all trauma, but we do see a path forward. We see all veterans. We see you. Learn how treatment works and recovery is possible. Visit maketheconnection.net.
Back here from Mankato, Minnesota, Ben Quark here for the Falcon Media Sports Network, getting ready to call a game between the Bowling Green Falcon hockey team and the Minnesota State Maverick hockey team, the fourth CCHA matchup of the season for your Bowling Green State University Falcons. I read the starting lineups a few moments ago. I'll read them again. For your Minnesota State Mavericks, the sophomore, number 18, Jacob Stender on the left wing, the senior, number 19, Will Hillman down the center, and the extra skater actually starting today for Minnesota State, number 25, and a senior, Brendan Olson. The defensive lineup, Mason Wheeler and Campbell Psychos, the junior and junior, and then Alex Tracy, another junior, in net for Minnesota State, the best goaltender in the NCAA. The Falcons will have to beat him tonight if they want to take points in the CCHA. On the side of your Falcons, Brett Foe on the left, Ville Imonen down the center, Adam Zonka on the right, Dalton Norris and Tommy Passanen as the defensemen, and Cole Moore in net for Bowling Green, the 6'6", 200-pound left-handed sophomore out of Toronto, Ontario. Been great this season, but the Falcon defense really has to give him a lot of help today to stifle a pretty solid Minnesota State offense. Again, like we mentioned, Minnesota State's offense not as good as their defense for sure, but still probably the third best offense in the CCHA behind Lake Superior State, possibly Bemidji or Augustana. Minnesota State gains possession early, takes it up into the O-zone. Tommy Passanen with the puck now, rings it around to Zonka. Zonka, pass over across into the middle. Imonen loses it, and it will be cleared back to Psychos. Takes it up through his own blue line. Now into the O-zone, working it out the far side of the ice. Passanen gives him a bump, looking in. Sternberg with a hit. First game back for him. Didn't play in the St. Thomas or the Michigan Tech series, so he's only played one series in the CCHA, and that one's against Ferris State. Minnesota State working at near side boards. Pass way across from Moravik. Slap in, Passanen with control now. Pass it across to Sternberg. Sternberg leaves it up the ice. Evan Murr keeps it in, defenseman for the Mavericks. Passanen wears a check, gets it across. Hit from Emerson, trying to work the puck free. Pretty sizable crowd here in the Mayo Clinic Health System Event Center. I'm just going to call it the Mayo Clinic Ice Arena from here on out, just for the sake of ease. Zonka puts a hit on. Good shift for him as he skates off. Minnesota State in the neutral zone. Breakaway now for the Falcons. Working it out, far side, looking in. The shot is saved by Alex Tracy. Bolson working it at far side. Ben Duran with the breakaway there. Can't fill it. And it's a tall order to beat one-on-one the best goaltender in the nation. Rhett Picklick, a transfer from Minnesota in the Big Ten. Heck of a skater, Rhett Picklick, the left winger on the first line for Minnesota State. They've started the fourth line today, and a line that they really like using, especially in puck possession times and stuff like that. Not the biggest scorers. Hit there, tries to force the puck free, but it will get out and away. Zach Kranick takes it all the way into the zone. Eric Parker, 24 on 24 hit right there. Pass over off the half wall, looking into Lukemberg. He's not there. Working it in. Oh, took out the referee there. Eric Parker pressing up against the far boards. In to help is Luciano Wilson. And Minnesota State will take it away. Back up to the point. Psychos with a shot in is deflected away from Cole Moore. Falcons leave it in. They'll gain clear possession here as a couple of Mavericks will go for a change. Up the ice into the neutral zone. Minnesota State pass across. Won't land to Wilson. Falcons take it back into their D zone. Settle it down with 17:15 left to play in the first. No scoring yet. Parker behind his tender. Now pass up to the far side. Taking it up through the neutral zone. That is a hook on Zonka in the middle. He will fall. No call, though. Passanen with the puck now into the neutral zone. Zonka tips it up to avoid the icing. Foe giving chase up into the zone. He's battling with Isley. Isley pressing up Foe against the boards behind and to the left of Alex Tracy, the far side here in the Mayo Clinic Ice Arena. A little bit of a breakaway here now for Minnesota State. Up the ice, it's Finn Williams, and he has his pocket picked by Jack Blake, the extra skating defenseman today for the Falcons. Matvei Kabanov was on the lineup sheet today, but he was scratched before the game started, so the extra skater is only Jack Blake, the 7th defenseman for Bowling Green. Sternberg with the puck. Good stick work. Gets this one around from behind his tender. Pass up into the neutral zone. Leaving it up to Maxwell Martin. Martin now a little bit of a breakaway for Jaden Grant. Pass over into the slot. Crossing it over. Good chance from Quinn Emerson, but nobody was there to fill it on the back end. Emerson with the puck. Now shot saved by Tracy. Tried to go high on Tracy there and not able to beat him. 3 saves now for Alex Tracy in this game. Maxwell Martin with the puck. Tries to get it around to Emerson. Emerson battling, working in. Emerson over in front, and it's kicked away by Luke Ashton, defenseman for Minnesota State. It was over on the doorstep in front of Tracy, a little bit too close for comfort. Picked it off now is Maxwell Martin, but he can't complete the pass. Over into the slot. Moravik leaves it up the ice. The Falcons possess. They've had a lot of possession in the last couple of minutes. Played pretty well early in this game. Good defense, a couple of good offensive chances as well. No shots on goal recorded yet for either team, which I think is kind of odd considering Alex Tracy has touched the puck several times. Eric Parker with the puck now in his D zone, working up into O'Hara. O'Hara leaves it up into the neutral zone. Waters dumps it in. O'Hara is looking in, battling with Wheeler. Wheeler tries to get it up. The Falcons keep it in the O zone. They have a 3-on-5, and they'll get picked off. Minnesota State up into the neutral zone. Bolson near side. The right winger on the first line of Minnesota State. Passing in, clears it out. Falcons pass across the neutral zone. Ryan O'Hara dumps it in the zone. Will get a couple of his guys a new shift as Ralph Bergmanis takes it up. Another defenseman for Minnesota State. Great defenseman for this Maverick team. All 3 lines as solid as can be. Lurkerberg leaves it across. Falcons working in. Niedermeyer with the puck now. Leaves it back for Lurkerberg behind. Niedermeyer working it out the right side of Tracy. Shot in. Glance down off of Bergmanis, who had good position. And Lurkerberg over playing the dirty man in front of the blue paint. Bergmanis wears a hit. Lurkerberg looking for the puck now. Trip over. And Evan Murr will settle it down in his D zone. Now take it up into neutral ice. Murr up the near side, pass in across. It will not be touched by Cole Moore, who just lets it go to the far corner. Wearing a hit. Falcons trying to get it outside the blue line. It will not clear. Tip over. Ooh, that one had a chance at just being deflected in, but it didn't go. Luigi Benincasa with the shot there. A little bit of an unperforming season for Benincasa. Only 5 points on the season after 16 points last season. Shot is saved by Cole Moore, and he will stop play for the first time in this game with 13:28 left to play in period number 1. Pretty even play so far, I would say. Not a whole lot of differential in offensive chances, defensive stands. Falcons have possessed the puck a little bit more. Still a pretty clean game so far. 1 save for either Tenor, Alex Tracy, and Cole Moore. 2 total shots for Jordan Power early in this one. Quinn Emerson with 3 and a shot on goal. This shot is deflected. Cole Moore lets it go to the back wall. Blake wears a hit. Another Falcon wears a hit. That was Passanen. Now working it is Norris trying to get it out as Blake went off. Into the right side corner of the ice. Falcon still battling for it. Clears it back away to the far side. Pitlick with a shot in is cut off by the Falcons. Brendan Olson on the 4th line now. Falcons clear it away in their D zone. Push up the ice. It was a good play there by Maxwell Martin. Martin with the puck will dump it in and go for a change as there's a new set of forwards on the ice now for the Falcons. New defensemen as well, Sternberg and Parker. Pass over into the slot. Shot is saved by Alex Tracy. Still up in front. The Falcons with a flurry of shots there from Ben Duran, but none of them are going to be able to fall. Working in near side up into neutral ice. Back into the O-zone of the Falcons. Toe drag. Ben Duran blows a tire. Pass up to Isley. Isley with a little bit of a breakaway here. Brian Carabas, far side. Looking for a pass. Now works it in. Isley with a shot and a score. Beat Cole Moore on the left to right. And Minnesota State takes a 1-0 lead here in the Mayo Clinic Ice Arena. Mavericks on the scoreboard first. Beautiful cross from Brian Carabas to Adam Isley, the right winger to the centerman on the right side. Perfectly drawn up. A lay chance going on here in the Mayo Clinic Ice Arena, playing homage to the bull of the Maverick.
Scoring at 7:49 of the first period, his 6th of the season, number 15, Adam Isley.
We're a hit on the near side boards. Falcons win the faceoff, and the whistle blows. And I believe the puck was cleared into the bench of the Falcons. Even strength goal by Adam Isley, assist by Carabas and Luke Ashton. That's Isley's 6th goal on the season. He's now the leader of Minnesota State, up to 12 points with his 6 assists as well. Evan Murr with the puck now, battling it in. Bolson can't get it away to his guy. Seth fighting with the puck now, clears it to Lurkeberg. Pass up the ice to Niedermeyer, just a little bit long. Now he comes away with it. That's a 2-on-1 for the Falcons, looking for a pass over Lurkeberg, just a little bit behind him. This is going to be a 2-on-2 for Minnesota State. Bolson is being cut off by Passanen. Passanen playing good defense, forcing him away to the far corner when his Falcons come in and get some help. Now Zonka will have the puck. Referee gets in his way a little bit. Josh Grohl gets it away, the captain for Minnesota State. Power in, shot around. A little bit long for Pitlick. Now the Falcons up with a 3-on-2, and they'll go for a change instead. Brett Foe will take it all the way into the zone, waste some time for his guys. Looking like he could have drawn a tripping there, but he didn't fall. With the puck now shot in all the way around to the right of Alex Tracy, who catches left. And Zonka with an errant pass leaves the zone. Dalton Norris will have to collect. An aggressive pass up into the ozone of the Falcons, into Imonen. Imonen in the back. Chance, a score! Adam Zonka gets his first goal of the season on a pass from Ville Imonen on the backhand. Beautiful play. If you listen to our pick the stick to start the game, Adam Zonka was my pick for a goal. He fills it, ties the game up at 1-1. Great score for the Falcons. Third assist of the season for Ville Imonen if they give it to him. First goal in the orange and brown for Adam Zonka, and the first collegiate goal, second collegiate point for the freshman. Impressive stuff from the Falcons. Into the zone, 1-1 game now with 10:35 left to play in the first period. Psychos with the puck. Pass up, aggressive. Kranick in, pass over, kick save by Cole Moore to get that one away. Pass across again, up into the zone. Alex Tracy will settle it down. Kick away to the near side boards. Around to Grant. The centerman is in behind. Pass over into the slot. And a couple of Mavericks pick this one off. That'll be Luciano Wilson. They gave Ville Imonen and Tommy Passanen assists on the goal by Adam Zonka. Scored at the 9:18 mark. Ryan O'Hara up into the zone looking for a pass into Waters. Waters is being pressed up by Psychos. Again, still in the O-zone of the Falcons. O'Hara pass over, and it won't find the slot. It'll just go right of the goal. Now Olsen will take it up, dumps it into the zone. Stjernberg will be the first one there. Battling for it with Stender. Fourth line left winger. Clears out the zone. Evan Murr will have to settle it down in neutral ice. Not a whole lot of time wasted for either of these squads. Haven't spent a whole lot of time just sitting in their DN. They've been forcing a lot. 9:20 left in the first. 1-1 game. Goal from Adam Isley and a goal from Adam Zonka. Niedermeyer with the forecheck. Frulis as the puck isn't turned over. Will Hillman with the puck now across his own blue line. He finds his own defenseman. Pass up. Passanen cuts it off. And dumps this one back into neutral ice. Don't know what the idea was there. He had no brown jerseys up. Pass up off the stick of Isley. It'll clear up into the netting. We'll have a whistle and a stoppage of play for our media timeout. 8:50 left to play in the first period. Score is tied 1-1 after the Zonka and Isley goals. You're listening to BG Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
We've all seen it. Drivers looking down at their phones, taking selfies, watching videos, actions that create dangerous situations on our roadways. This is Trooper Tony Shirley of the Ohio State Highway Patrol Bowling Green Post. Every time someone takes their eyes or their focus off the road, even for just a few seconds, they put their life and the lives of others in danger. If you're distracted, you're not driving.
Standing up for what's right. Helping out when things go wrong. Seeking the truth and speaking our minds. Not just making records, but breaking them. Leading the way behind the camera, beyond the runway, and on the silver screen. Not just making our mark, but making a difference. Now that's a job for a Girl Scout. Girl Scouts, preparing girls for a lifetime of leadership.
Back here in the Mayo Clinic Ice Arena in Mankato, Minnesota. Ben Korak here from the Falcon Media Sports Network. Falcons and Mavericks tied at 1. A goal 7:49 into the first by Adam Isley. Even strength assisted by Brian Carabas and Luke Ashton. And then only about 2 minutes later, Adam Zoka filled his own off of a beautiful pass by Ville Monin and an outlet pass from Tommy Passanen. That's all the scoring we've had in this game. 2 saves for Cole Moore and the goal allowed. 4 saves for Alex Tracy and the goal allowed. And if you do the math, that means the Falcons are leading in shots on goal 5-3 against one of the more efficient shooting teams in the CCHA, about a 100 shooting percentage, which is 3rd in the CCHA. Lake Superior State obviously with a powerful offense. They've shown that all season. They showed it last season as well. Not a lot of defense, but a ton of offense from the Lakers. They are currently tied with Bemidji State 1-1 midway through the second period. Ferris State on top of Northern Michigan 2-0. And St. Thomas and Michigan Tech should be going on here in a few moments in Mendota Heights, Minnesota. A lot of purple here in Minnesota. The airport is mostly purple. Minnesota State and St. Thomas, both purple teams. Crossing pass, back in behind, pushing over is Zonka. Zonka with the puck now, clears it out, looking for a pass, works it in, looking for an outlet pass, working in again, and it's kicked away from Brett Foe, who had a little bit of an opening. Dalton Norris playing the point man, but it'll clear to Isley, who chips it in the air. Passing it will be the first one there, leaves it back for his guys. That's Norris up the near side. Up to Grant. Grant on the left side, working to Foe in the middle. Foe's shot goes wide right. Tracy lets it go to the back wall without touching it. Breck McKinley, first time we've said his name in this game. First line with Ben Wozni today at his first goal in orange and brown this season for the sophomore. In the games against St. Thomas, the second game against St. Thomas. Pass back. McKinley with the puck now, looking over into the slot, over to Grant, and he had a little bit of an open goal, but no clean stick work. Back around, Josh Grohl cuts it off. He's going to wear a hit on the near side boards, but he gets the puck away to a white jersey. Jaden Grant with high pressure. The Falcons have brought a lot of forecheck in this game so far. Into the neutral zone again. Ryan O'Hara gets mugged. Josh Grohl with the puck now, still has the puck, and his pass is errant. Just pass to O'Hara. O'Hara in the neutral zone. Dumps it up for Waters. Waters with a hat trick earlier in the season. Hasn't scored since. He's scored a couple of assists, but not a goal since that second game against Ferris State. And Evan Murr with good pass across, and it won't land to Psychos. That was a defenseman duo run there. I'm sorry, that was Benincasa. Benincasa on the recipient end. Pass across to the blue line. Minnesota State looking in. The shot is saved. Bergmanis can't get it to go all the way through. Brody Waters will go off the glass and into the neutral zone. Minnesota State will have to get on sides. Good stick work from Sternberg to turn the puck over. Niedermeyer giving the forecheck is kicked past him. Now he comes up with the puck near side, working back into his D zone, and the Falcons will settle it down. 6:25 left to play in the first period. 1-1, still the score. Tracy covers this one up with forecheck in his face. And we will get a face-off to Alex Tracy's left, and over the third stoppage of play in this game. Impressive performances from especially the Falcons, given the pedigree of the number 13 RPI team in the nation. Again, RPI, a system that measures winning percentage of the team plus winning percentage of the opponents, and a couple of other stats as well to statistically rank teams instead of a voter basis. Shot in is saved by Tracy, kicked away to the far corner. Pass over into the slot. Lurkeberg is just a little bit late. Minnesota State comes up with it. Jordan Power looks to get it away. Falcons with the puck now, passing in across his own blue line. That's Norris. Norris takes it in on the far wall, is pressed down to the ice. Seth Fighton giving the forecheck. Dalton Norris rings it back around. It'll be controlled by Power. Power leaves it across for his guy Luke Ashton, a fellow defenseman. Taking it in is Finn Williams. Williams' pass is cut off by Lurkeberg. Pass up a little bit long for Foe, but he settles it down. Foe up the near side. Takes a step back, is pushed over by Psychos. Psychos still battling with Foe. Chips it across. Good stick in the lane by Breck McKinley, who's still trying to settle the puck down. Gets it back up to the blue line. Good play from McKinley. The shot is saved by Tracy. He'll shut the play down again. 5:22 left in the first period. Falcons lead in shots on goal, 7-4. Lead in total shots, 13-8. They're tied in goals, tied in assists. They're trailing in faceoffs won. Actually, the Falcons with the best faceoff in the CCHA. Minnesota State with the worst faceoff in the CCHA. And the Mavericks are currently tied with the Falcons in faceoffs won. Shot goes past Tracy to the half wall, taken away by Mason Wheeler, first line defenseman for the Mavericks. Imonen dumps it into the zone. His guys don't realize they're not chasing after the puck. Now it'll be up to Foe. Foe off the half wall into Imonen. It's just long for Imonen as Psychos handles. Pass across to Jacob Stender. Pass up to Carabas. Carabas working up through the middle. Shot, and he fills it from just beyond the wheels in the center. For all the times the Falcons' defense has broken down, that one can be attributed to Cole Moore. He had a wide open shot and just ended up beating Cole Moore on not even a breakaway. Didn't pass right over the middle. The Falcon defenseman didn't step up to guard him really, but it was a one-on-one chance. Shot through the legs and Cole Moore just missed it. Went out for the stab with his glove hand, his left, and it was filled. Brian Carabas with the 15:09 mark. It's the second point of the game for Carabas, an assist on the Isley goal. Carabas, a great player, up to 6 goals, tying with Isley. But he's got more points now with 14, leading the Mavericks in that department of points. Falcons with the puck now, trailing 2-1, 4:15 left to play in the first period. This shot from Stender is blocked at the point, and they'll have to take it back into the zone. Isley and Psychos, the assists. Falcons up through the neutral zone. Maxwell Martin battling near sides with Power. Power can't get it away as Grant locks him up. Now Bolson clears it out to Pitlick. Rhett Pitlick, a heck of a skater, but we haven't seen it so far. Maxwell Martin's pressured, gets the puck away. Pitlick with a breakaway. There's the good skating right there, as we saw, taking it into the zone, and a fan pass by Josh Grohl. Dalton Norris with good stick work, kicks it away. Pitlick with the puck now behind Cole Moore. Works it back around on the far wheel. Now turns it back around. Another shot saved by Cole Moore. It's on the doorstep, kicked away by the Falcons. Taking it back away is Ashton. Ashton up to the far side, leaves it back up to the point to Pitlick. Pitlick working in, good skater. Shot, his glove saved by Cole Moore and dropped over after the whistle blows. 3:19 left in the first period. Isley with 2 points, a goal and an assist. Carabas with 2 points, a goal and an assist. Psychos and Luke Ashton, the other assisters. Adam Zunka with the goal for the Falcons. Ville Imonen and Tommy Passanen, the helpers for Bowling Green. Luigi Benincasa, 5 points on the season for the faceoff. He'll win it. Luciano Wilson turns it over into the middle. Pass over to the other side, goes off the post. You can hear an iron sound there. Seth Fighton with the forecheck. Getting it tied up with Luciano Wilson. Still tied up. The Falcons finally get it away out to the blue line. Minnesota State with the puck now, and they turn it over to Ben Wozni. Wozni with a pass up to Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer to Benincasa. Benincasa to McKinley. McKinley's held up and turned back around. Turns the puck back over. Psychos near side at the blue line. Stick in the lane by Fighton. Kicks the puck to the corner. Pass over into the slot. Oh, the Falcons were turned around on the defense. That could have been catastrophic for the Bowling Green defenseman. Luke Wilson with the puck. Back up to Bergmanis. Bergmanis taking it up the far side. Lukerberg fiddling with him. Pressed up with Bergmanis on that far side of the boards, going for a change. And coming onto the ice is Moravik. Pass over into the slot. Still there from Moravik. This one's going to be a shot. Oh, he fanned on it. Minnesota State with a shot there on open play. And they fan out. Isley cross over into the center. It won't fall. Back around Carabas again. Another shot kicked away beautifully by Cole Moore on the directional save. Back over to Carabas, playing the point now as a forward. And to Murr. Murr on the near side, working in. Oh, good stick work. Broke the ankles of Ben Wozni, but still able to play the defensive position. A little bit along for Moravik. Isley can't come up with the puck. Niedermeyer tries to clear it outside the blue line. Minnesota State looking like they're on the power play now, even though it's still even strength. Murr with the puck, taking it into the slot. Shot is saved by Cole Moore, kicked away. Seth Fighton tries to get it off the half wall outside the blue line, and it will clear out of the O-zone of the Falcons and taken right back in. Good shot in, pass wide right. Into the neutral zone again. O'Hara with the puck. Will slap at it. Falcons need to hold possession for the first time in a while. Minute 10 left to play in the first period. 2-1, Minnesota State on top. O'Hara with the puck into the zone. Imonen giving chase on the forecheck. Two-man forecheck for the Falcons, and now Zonka drops back into the neutral zone. Pass up by the Mavericks. Stender with the puck across his own blue line. Up and through, stick in the lane. Stjernberg forces the puck and a bad pass away. Now the Falcons with the puck now in past their own blue line. Pass across to O'Hara. O'Hara chasing it in. He'll battle with Power. Power to Duran. Duran with the puck now turned back around. Still working, looking to get it to another brown jersey. He's pinned up near side. Power with the puck. 30 seconds left in the first period. The Falcons in the O-zone now, but the Mavericks, I'm sure, are just happy to come out of this one with a one-goal lead. Back up to the point. Passanen across to Norris. Norris looking in. The shot is blocked at the point by Stender. Waters with the puck. In behind. That's Emerson. Emerson's tripped up by his own man. Pass out. 10 seconds left. Passanen with a shot in. Over on the doorstep. Nobody there to clean up the play. Stender battling with Duran. Waters back up. Slap shot. Wide right of Tracy. It'll go back. The horn will sound. And the Falcons will head into the first intermission. Down one, but a very solid first period for Bowling Green. We'll unpack it in a few moments. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
What is dedication?
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that my kids wouldn't have a father. And I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. I definitely had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU Student Media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
You have the right to know. The right to know about culture. The right to know about the economy. The right to know about technology and to know about sports. You have the right to know about education and politics and the weather. You have the right to know what's happening abroad and in your backyard. But above all else, you have the right to know that this right is under attack, and we must work to protect it. Because in order to be free, we must be informed. Understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and gives it to families in need. To help, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Erica Porter is this week's Falcon Media Sports Network's Athlete of the Week. The fifth-year forward scored 20 points and hauled in 8 rebounds in the win against Stetson. She followed that up by helping BG defeat SEC's Arkansas, scoring 18 points, including the game-winning shot with 8.4 seconds to play. The West Windsor native is averaging 10.6 points per game and 5.4 rebounds this season. Last season, she was named an All-MAC third-team selection and set a new program record by shooting 66.3% from the field. This has been 60 Seconds in Falcon Athletics.
If you love them enough to listen to them practice the same song on tuba,
please be done.
Over and over and over and over and over, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Sounds good, honey.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Falcon hockey returns to Slater Family Ice Arena to face Northern Michigan on Friday, December 13th. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak and Nathan Burkett at 6:45 for pregame and 7 p.m. for puck drop on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Bowling Green Hockey's first intermission report brought to you by Rick Crow, longtime BGSU hockey fan and listener of WBGU 88.1 FM Falcon Hockey. The Falcons are trailing 2-1 to Minnesota State right now, but some great things to come out of that first period. I'll run you through the scoring real quick. 7:49 into that first. Adam Isley, a centerman for Minnesota State, filled his goal. Even strength, Brian Carabas and Luke Ashton, the assisters. Bowling Green then answered with their own almost 2 minutes later. Adam Zunko with the even strength goal, assisted by Villa Imonen and Tommy Passanen with the outlet pass. And then finally the ice tilter, Brian Carabas, with an even strength goal, his second point of the game, assisted by Adam Isley, his second point of the game, and Campbell Psychos, the first-line defenseman for Minnesota State. All 3 goals coming on somewhat of breakaways, none of them on set-up plays. We also did not have any penalties in that first period, which is rare for the Falcons, who are the second most penalized team in the CCHA now. Lake Superior State took over that title from the Falcons. So it's odd to see that there was either no penalty power play goals or no penalties in that first period. The Falcons played even strength most of the time. The first, about half of that first period, they dominated possession a lot, and it seemed like Minnesota State was playing on their heels a lot as well. The Falcons' offense was really going on. They kept the puck in the O-zone a lot. They were passing it around really nice on even strength, not on breakaways. They held the puck a lot, got a lot of good chances, a lot of shots on goal early. And then as the period began to progress, the Minnesota State Mavericks really got forward on their skates and got into the game a little bit more. They possessed the puck more. The last about 3 minutes of the game looked like they were on power play. They were kind of toying with the Falcon defense, who might have been a little bit tired. We only had about 4 or 5 stoppages of play and that entire period, but that goes to show Minnesota State is a very talented team, and the fact that the Falcons are within 1 goal of the Mavericks is a very impressive feat for Bowling Green, able to beat Alex Tracy this season. That's already better than 3 other teams in the NCAA have been able to do, as they've been shut out. The Falcons will not be shut out in this game, which is a great thing to see. The Falcons still on a 4-game winless streak, spanning back to their first CCHA series against Ferris State. They got some scoring done early and dispelling some of those offensive troubles that we've been talking about a little bit recently from the Falcons. They've had a lot of breakaways. They capitalized on one of them on an outlet pass from Passanen. Imonen settled the puck down, pass across, and Alex Tracy got deked by Adam Zonka for his first goal in the orange and brown, the first goal of his collegiate career as well from Adam Zonka. Congratulations to him. Ville Imonen with his third assist of the season, as well as his sixth total point, the transfer from Union College in the NCAA, obviously. And Tommy Passanen with another assist. That's actually his first on the season. He's yet to find the point board. He finally has. That's his first point, first assist of the 2024 season for the grad student out of Schweinfurt, Germany, and the transfer from Clarkson as well. Yeah, Minnesota State did a very good job offensively, especially in the later part of that first period. They were digging the puck off. They possessed the puck a lot. They're great skaters. They have great stick work, and they were able to stay out of the sticks of the Falcons, which was good to see, I'm sure, if you are a Minnesota State fan. For the Falcons, they did a very good job of keeping their stick in the lane, not allowing a lot of passes. A couple of them snuck through anyway, but they weren't great chances as there was nobody really there to fill them. Seth Fighton, Jackson Niedermeyer, and Tommy Passanen are three players that I think played a very good period. They didn't have a bad shift, really. Great defensively, and that's going to be what the Falcons need to do. They need to match up defensively with Minnesota State in this game to give them the best chance at coming away with the victory. They are trailing in face-offs won, which is rare for the Falcons, especially against the the worst face-off crew in the CCHA is Minnesota State. Josh Grohl, Adam Isley, Luigi Benincasa, and Will Hillman, the centerman for Minnesota State. They're the worst face-off team in the CCHA, and the Falcons are being beat with them on the face-off wheels. You want to know how many stoppages of play we've had? We only had 10 face-offs in the entire game, and one was the opening face-off. So we haven't had a lot of stoppage of play between these two teams. Pretty clean play as well, no penalties. Some good things to see out of the Falcons. So what do we want to see from the Falcons going into the second period? We want to continue a lot of that offensive pressure they had early in the first. Hold on to the puck a lot. Make sure your passes are clean and crispy. You can't give any mistakes over to Minnesota State. And as we've discussed before, on two breakaways, they had mistakes with their passing, and they converted them into both goals. The Falcons were also able to convert their own goal, so holding onto that puck and getting some breakaways, capitalizing on their chances. They're not going to be able to put a whole ton of shots up on Alex Tracy as they have in previous weeks. They already have 18 shots and 7 shots on goal, but that's a little bit low, below average for the Falcons. They're not going to be able to put up a lot because of the stifling defensive skaters for Minnesota State. So you got to make the most out of the chances that you do have, and you're looking to that front line of Ryan O'Hara, Ben Duran, and Brody Waters, as well as some other offensive players, Brett Foe and Maxwell Martin on the left wing. Did a pretty good job in that first period. They need to be more offensively present and take their chances in deep and hopefully fill one and tie this game up at 2. So we are winding down here in the intermission report, the Rick Crow intermission report, longtime BGSU hockey fan and listener of WBGU 88.1 FM. So that's what we're looking to see from the Falcons. Looking to see continued pretty good defense and capitalizing on offensive chances. Colmore has been great in this game as well. You got to give him help. He's got 8 saves and 2 goals allowed for an .800 save percentage. Alex Tracy's got 6 saves and 1 goal allowed. One of those goals was 100% Colmore's fault. The other one was just a great play by Minnesota State. So that's how the first period has gone down. We'll bring you back for the second period in a few minutes. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
It's 4 a.m., Monday, and you're literally sucking baby snot through a tube because she's congested. Man, that's love. And if you love her that much, love her enough to make sure she's buckled in the right car seat. To make sure your child's in the right seat for their age and size, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Show them you love them. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
People join Walk MS to raise awareness and funds that change the world for everyone affected by multiple sclerosis. Walk MS brings communities together, creating teams with friends, loved ones, and coworkers to rally around those we care about and end MS forever. Together, we can change the world for people with MS. Register today at walkms.org.
On October 4th, 2024, BGSU volleyball opposite hitter Lauren Hovey recorded her 115th career service ace in BG's comeback reverse sweep of Western Michigan, passing Paige Penrod for the most in program history during the rally scoring era. Falcon Media Sports Network's Chaz McNeil had the call of the historic moment on WBGU 88.1 FM.
And that will make history. Lauren Hovey's 115th ace in the rally scoring era is in the history books as the Stroh Center applauds.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey. Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Welcome back to the Rick Gross sponsored intermission report. Longtime BGSU hockey fan and sponsor of the Falcon Media Sports Network this season for all of our away travel. The Falcons trailing the Minnesota State Mavericks 2-1, but it's not the only game going on here in the CCHA. In Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, Bemidji State is leading Lake Superior State 3-2. Sasha Telegwin opens scoring for the Lakers with a goal, and then three in a row from the Beavers. Austin Jupy, Jake McLean, and Kirkland Irie on a shorthanded attack from the Beavers, and then Johnny Druskinis scored the last goal for the two sides. Bemidji State leads Lake Superior State at the end of the second period 3-2. Ferris State, Northern Michigan in Marquette, Michigan, at the home of Northern Michigan hockey. Ferris State is trouncing on Northern Michigan. We're 19:35 left in the third period. Gavin Best, Caden Galt, and Tyler Schlepp all scored for Ferris State. They lead 3-0 over the Wildcats. You know, of course, Minnesota State leading over Bowling Green 2-1 here in Mankato, Minnesota. And then for Michigan Tech and St. Thomas, who are playing their game in Houghton, Michigan, up there in like as North Michigan as you can possibly get. Owen Baker for Michigan Tech scored the first goal, even strength assist by Steven Sardarian and Rylan Brown. And then St. Thomas's Mason Pullman, a defenseman, assisted by Ryan O'Neill and Cole Miller, scored a goal. The game is locked up at 1 with 18 minutes left to play in the third period. So we will check back in with around the CCHA when we get to our Mardi Gras intermission report, the second intermission of BGSU hockey. We will take a step back for another 2 minutes and bring you back for puck drop of the second period. You're listening to BGSU hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge! is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing.
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
On November 1st, 2024, BGSU men's soccer defeated nationally ranked Western Michigan for the first time in a decade. Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer was on the call on the WBGU PBS YouTube channel.
History has been made here at Cochran Stadium for the first time in 37 regular season matches for the Western Michigan Broncos, and for the first time in a decade, the Bowling Green Falcons take down the Western Michigan Broncos by a final score of 3-0 here at Cochran Stadium. Wow!
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
Back here in the Mayo Clinic Health System Event Center, or the Mayo Clinic Ice Arena, I'm Ben Korak from the Falcon Media Sports Network here in Mankato, Minnesota. The Falcons in a 2-game series with Minnesota State, their 4th CCHA series of the regular season in the 2024-2025 campaign. You just listened to the Rick Crow-sponsored first intermission report. The Falcons, as we discussed, on top 2-1, or behind 2-1 against the Mavericks. The best team in the CCHA with the best goaltender in the nation. Quite a formidable team that the Falcons hung with. Will Hillman with the puck now blows a tire, loses this one into the O-zone of the Falcons. They both switch sides. The Falcons attacking left to right across your radio dial now, wearing their brown jerseys, orange buckets, and orange gloves as well. Minnesota State wearing purple helmets, white jerseys, purple shorts, white socks, and of course black skates. Minnesota State up into the zone. Big hit there. Tries to force the puck away. It's back into the D zone of Minnesota State, who will get it to Stender up into the neutral zone, and the Falcons will possess without forecheck. Pass up, dumped in. Ben Duran giving a forecheck now, crossed over into the center, and it is picked off by Minnesota State. They take it off into the zone with a 3-on-3. Shot across the point, nobody there. Stick work by Brody Waters on the far side boards, clearing it away behind Cole Moore. The first one there will be Carabas. Carabas has a goal and an assist in this game. Put a stick on both of the goals scored by Minnesota State. A goal in the second, an assist in the first. A little bit of a breakaway here for Ben Duran, who takes it up the far side. He's being cut off by Bergmanis. Bergmanis with the puck now on the far side, working it up into the neutral zone. Stick away. Oh, that could have been a breakaway and a half if he connected the pass. Adam Isley was wide open and between the wheels for Minnesota State. Now pass up off the half wall into Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer is just a little bit too long for him. McKinley gets it up, fighting back on sides. Shot in is gloved by Tracy, and he'll hold on. He had a man open on the near side to Niedermeyer, but he did not get a pass off. Instead, he opted for a shot and a face-off to the left of the junior goaltender, Alex Tracy. 1.37 goals allowed per game and a .947 save percentage with 3 shutouts this season. Absolutely fantastic. The best goaltender in the nation. Part of one of the best defensive crews in the nation, just behind Michigan State, who's currently number 2 in the nation according to RPI. Pass up, no icing, went off a skate. Minnesota State up into the neutral zone. It's Pitlick. Pitlick wears a hit from his own guy, Josh Grohl. Miscommunication there. The centerman hitting the right winger. Tip up from behind the goal line. It will not be an icing, though. The Mavericks take it up to Pitlick. Pitlick into the neutral zone. Now to Grohl. Grohl working it up through the middle. Good stick work. Where's the hit? Gets it away. Zonko with the puck now. Takes it up past his own blue line. Now the Falcons working in over the center. Dump and go for Bowling Green. It's Imonen who puts a hit on. Not a lot of hitting in this game. Clean play, no penalties. Knock on wood for Bowling Green. Crossover into the middle, and Kranick couldn't get a good stick on it. Another shot in, blocked by Stjernberg at the point. Stjernberg is the first one into the O-zone of the Falcons. It'll be chipped up, and Stjernberg will go for a line change. The Goose, as I like to call him. Oh, that's a hit into the boards. He could have led with the head there, but the arm is not up from the referees. They're not calling anything. Taking it in all the way deep, and it's rejected by Tracy, who gives a shove to the Falcon. I'm surprised there was no penalty on a Bowling Green player there. It looked like Mason Wheeler went into the boards head first. Could have been a boarding call against the Falcons, but thankfully it's not. Martin with the puck now, working it over in deep, and it is chipped away by Tracy with his stick very calmly. And the blue paint there is Alex Tracy, knowing what he can do. Kranig passes it all the way across. Luciano Wilson, a little bit late, the right winger on the third line with Benincasa and Kranig. The Falcons take it up past their own blue line, up into the neutral zone, and they will go for a new shift of forwards and defensemen. Passanen and Norris with O'Hara, Waters, and Duran. Working it up, working in. Will Hillman with the shot, and it goes wide left. And Bergmanis can't keep it in the zone. He'll take it back into the D zone with a single-man forecheck. Falcons into a diamond position back. The man up on the forecheck, and that forces a turnover. Ryan O'Hara with the puck. Ben Duran will come up with it, taking it through the neutral zone. Ryan O'Hara with a little bit of a breakaway, and the pass is just long for him. Kicking it away is Tracy with the right-handed stick. Stjernberg near side. Pressed up, forcing it up to Fighton, and it's just a little bit long as Evan Murr will come up with this one. Skate around his tender. Back up, dumping in. Pass across to Stender. Stender shoots it wide right of Cole Moore. Lurkerberg, the whistle blows, and we will possibly have an offside penalty as Isley is shoved to the ice. Oh, Karabas getting into it now with Lurkerberg. Some words being said. The penalty box is open for for the Falcons, and Stjernberg, in his first game back after 4, will be heading off. We'll get the call here in a few moments. Didn't see it. It must have been off the puck. Still discussing. And now the men in stripes and orange will have the call here in the Mayo Clinic Ice Arena. And they're going to review it for a major. So I don't know what the call is. They didn't announce what it will be. While we try and figure it out, we'll take a short legal ID. You're listening to BGSU Hockey.
Hey everyone, Falcon Media Sports Director Lucas Kleinmeyer here. You're listening to WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
Nothing yet. Still looking at it on the monitor. Stjernberg is in the box with the referees in there also looking at the monitor to assess a major. We did have a major assessed and a game misconduct assessed to Ethan Scardina in the last game, and that's why he is serving a suspension for this game, is not in the lineup as a centerman. Johannes Lurkerberg stepping in as that fourth line center with Seth Fighton and Jackson Niedermeyer. And it's a quick review as the helmets are back on of the referees. They'll give us the call in a second. Still don't know what the penalty is going to be. I believe it was off the puck, but it's going to be on Stjernberg. It'll still stay in the box, just whether it's 5 or 2. 2-minute minor for boarding against Gustav Stjernberg, and that's why the words are being said at the end of the play. So the Falcons will go on the penalty kill. First penalty of this game, 15:27 left to play in period number 2. It was way off the puck on the near side. That's an easy call. He got him a little bit low. Imonen on the penalty kill for the Falcons. Normally would be Stjernberg in the wheel on the penalty kill, or Scardina, I should say, but he is serving out that suspension, which hurts the penalty kill more than a lot of other aspects of the game. Stjernberg in the box. That's your 2 best penalty killers off the ice. Pitlick, back pass. Working in his power. Pitlick crossover into the center. This one's a shot, and it's saved by Cole Moore. Kicked away. It's still down. Actually, it might have got gobbled up by Niedermeyer's pads. And he pulls this one out. I think it got caught up into his shorts. He's reaching in there now. Pulls it out, hands it to the referee. 15:08 left to play in the second period. 2-1. Minnesota State over Bowling Green, but the Mavericks are on a power play for the next minute 41. Falcons in the wheel again. Emonen for the faceoff, matching up against Adam Isley. That offensive second line. Bringing it in, shot is blocked. Isley with a shot again, and it's kick saved by Cole Moore. Kicks it to the far side corner. Pitlick digs it out, takes it back up to the blue line, working the point as the left winger. Back across, and it is caught and saved by Cole Moore between his legs, not with his mitt. But that was a shot from the point by Jordan Power. And it will be gobbled up again. 1:25 left in the penalty against the Falcons. Sternberg will come out in that amount of time. Fighting Parker, Lurkerberg, and another Falcon on the ice. Can't see it from this angle. Looks like McKinley. Lurkerberg loses the faceoff. Minnesota State with the puck at the point, working it in. Tip over into the front. Kicked away from the Falcons. They had a stick in the lane, but it was more beneficial for Minnesota State off that deflection. Pass over into the slot again. Isley looking for a back pass. It's over in front of Cole Moore, and he'll cover it up with his left-handed glove and settle the play down again with 1:09 left in the power play for Minnesota State. Niedermeyer and Emonen back on. Fighting and Lurkerberg off. Wilson, Grohl, Benincasa, and Ashton out now for Minnesota State. Ashton, near side, he's got a wicked wrist shot. That one was blocked. Oh, Wilson had a chance, but he skated right by the puck. He had an open net and no defenders in front of him. Back out to the blue line, across to Ashton on the near side. As I said, a wicked wrist shot, but he's playing the blue line right now on this power play. Now he takes it, and he fills it. Called that one 3-1, Minnesota State. They lead on the penalty by Gustav Sternberg, and the power play goal off of Luke Ashton. .546. The time of that score, assisted by Evan Murr and Luke Wilson. So the Falcons trail by 2 now early in this first. A costly penalty for Sternberg to take, and now O'Hara getting into it a little bit while we haven't even drawn the puck. Still getting into it. A little bit of chippiness going on here with Finn Williams. A left winger against a right winger there. Face-off won by the Falcons, dump into the zone. Ben Duran will give chase back. Puts a hit on. Penalty spells disaster for the Falcons. Their penalty kill has been pretty good, but it's a very tough team that they're going against. Pretty decent offensive team as well. Not the greatest on the power play, sub 200 this season, but that'll certainly help the one-on-one today. O'Hara crossover into the slot, but nobody's there. He didn't have his head up. Hillman will dump it in. Passanen will collect. Taking it up the right side of his goaltender. Grohl pass over to Bolson. Bolson's a little bit late to it. Wozni will go up into the neutral zone. O'Hara leaves it back to Duran. And Duran will dump it in, and it'll be fielded by Tracy behind his weave. Grant with the stick on it into his own D zone, trying to collect the puck and settle it down without purple possession. Still battling for it on that far side corner of the boards here in the Mayo Clinic Ice Arena. Bergmanis with the puck, trying to clear it away to his guys. It'll get back out to the blue line. Josh Grohl dumps it back in. Pitlick behind. He's getting pressed up by Norris, and then Norris will turn it over to McKinley. It's a good check by Norris to complete it. Shot in, blocked, and taken away. Josh Grohl, pass up to Pitlick. Pitlick was cherry picking on that one. The Falcons cut off the pass. Back out to Emerson. Emerson will backhand it to his man behind the net, McKinley. McKinley pretty good offensively his last couple of games. Goal and an assist in the last 4 games from the defenseman who scored his first goal just a little bit ago. Now he's got his stick in the lane. That was a good pass in the 2-on-1, and he tipped it away with good stick work. Breck McKinley has been great lately. Jack Blake, another one that has been surprisingly good, playing all of the last 5 games after not playing the entire rest of the season. He's earned his way back into the lineup today. Hasn't played a whole lot, but Sternberg back means that he's going to get less ice time. Zonka leaves it back, taking it through the zone. Back up to Zonka. Zonka takes it all the way into Tracy. Tracy cuts it off, and the net goes off the marker. So they'll have to shut play down and reset it. The Falcons had a good odd man rush there and had some open ice ahead of them, but it's shut down as Tracy kicked the goal off of its hinges. 11:56 left to play in the second period. Minnesota State leads 3-1 over the Falcons. They lead in shots on goal 14-10 as well. Pasanen and Norris, the defensemen, the first line of forwards, the production line as well, Duran, O'Hara, and Waters. O'Hara gets it back. Dalton Norris with a shot, and it's covered up. And some chippiness in front of the net. Some slashings going back and forth. I don't think anything will come of it, just gentlemen's disagreements. $11:52 now, only a couple of seconds expired off the clock. Falcons will keep the same lineup on. The Mavericks will go for a little bit of a change. It's that third line of Benincasa, Kranick, and Wilson. Duran for the faceoff. The Falcons trailing in faceoffs 1-2, 10-8. Duran wins this one. Crossover, passing in on the near side, shot in. Tried to be cleared back, and it couldn't be. Bolson now takes it up through the neutral zone. I'm sorry, that's Kranick. Kranick to Benincasa. Benincasa's picked off by O'Hara. O'Hara working near side, looking in for a pass. Crossover into the middle, and there was no chance for Waters as he was shut off by Tracy, who covered up that entire goal. With the puck now in the zone, Kranick in his D zone, and he'll leave it back as the Falcon forecheck is a little bit tardy. Kranick up past the blue line of the Falcons. Norris back to Kranick. Kranick across to Benincasa. Benincasa with the puck, back up to the blue line. Over and across. Out, way in, and is saved by Cole Moore. Back up to Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer will have a one-on-one with Bergmanis. Working it near side, left the puck a little bit too far out there. Fighting with the puck, slaps it in the zone. Now it clears back out to central ice, but Stjernberg will catch it with the stick and drop it at his feet. Take it back up, dump and go. Fighting is the chase man. Off the high glass, kicked from Parker. Niedermeyer with a shot in, just errant from beyond the blue line. Bergmanis wears a hit. Lurkeberg with the puck. That third line of defensemen has played a lot in this game, as well as that fourth line of forwards. No discrimination in the line depth for this Maverick team. Lurkeberg with a head of steam up into the ice, dumps it in. Tracy holds onto it, leaves it back for his guys. McKinley in the zone. Emerson chasing it back around with Murr. Murr will put a check on, gets the puck away. Back up into the neutral ice, Minnesota State. And the Falcons will come up with it again, trailing by 2 goals. Under 10 minutes left to play in the second period. Next stoppage will be the media timeout. Maxwell Martin working in the cross, and Jaden Grant a little bit late to that. They had some great ideas, and they have for the last couple of games, just not able to land passes inches away at times from great scoring chances. Finn Williams to Ashton. Ashton along the blue line, shot in, is blocked. And skating right off is Max Martin. Hustle player, 200-foot player as well. Max Martin. Norris with the defense of Pitlick. Pitlick looking in, and Williams is just left a little bit long. Playing it now is Duran. Duran up into the zone is picked off again by Luke Ashton. Takes it back to Grohl. Grohl can't complete the pass. Passing it in the neutral zone. Far side. Back around. Goes off the half wall. The Falcons will chase it into their O zone without possession. Foe leaves it back. Zonka with full possession now, looking in at the goal line. Back up to the point at Passanen. Passanen at the blue line. Shot in, kicked away by Tracy. Imonen back out to the blue line now. 3 men at the blue line for the Falcons. Zonka back around. He has control of the puck. He's played great. Great shift for Adam Zonka. Parker with the puck. Working in. Passes errant to Brett Foe. Not the cleanest from Parker. Putting a hit on Williams. And Minnesota State will gain possession and settle it down as the Falcons will have to go for a shift. 8.5 minutes left to play in the second period. Falcons still trailing by 2. Josh Grohl up into the O-zone of the Falcons. Kicked away. Good defense by Pastanen. Grohl with the puck, turns it back around, finds some open space, pass over to Carabas. Carabas goes between the legs, loses control of the puck, back over. Pitlick across, and O'Hara will get it on a 2-on-2 now for Bowling Green. Waters back to O'Hara. O'Hara up and through the center, working in. His shot is kicked away by Tracy. He had more of a chance there than anybody in this arena thought. Blake off of the half wall, in past the blue line, and it'll be dumped back into the Falcon end for a rare icing in this game. 7:46 left to play in the second period. We'll head to our, oh no, we will not head to our media timeout. 3-1 Minnesota State on top of Bowling Green. Normally the first timeout after the 10-minute mark is a media timeout, but they're not heading to it. Lurkerberg, the centerman. The fourth line of Falcons with Niedermeyer and Fighton on the ice with McKinley and Wozni. Off of the glass, McKinley drops into the neutral zone. Fighton takes it up past the blue line, working in, not a scorer, but with a shot, and Tracy kicks it away. Carabas with the puck, almost picked off. It is picked off by Bowling Green. Looking for an outlet pass is Fighton, and he can't get it across to Niedermeyer, who goes off his stick back into the neutral zone. Luke Wilson with the puck. Working it back around, still being held on to. Good defense from the Falcon. That's Breck McKinley, who had a very good shift, and that's going to be an offsides on Minnesota State. And now we will head to our media timeout. 7 minutes left to play in the second period. 3-1 Minnesota State over Bowling Green. You're listening to BGSU Hockey, sponsored by Rick Crow on WBGU 88.1 FM.
The journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. At Children International, we know that the journey to end poverty for good begins first with a child. It starts with their first checkup, lesson, opportunity, job. That journey takes commitment from people like you and me to end poverty for good. Learn more at children.org.
Wearing a safety belt is the easiest thing you can do to protect yourself, your family, and your friends. That is why the Ohio State Highway Patrol encourages all motorists to buckle up. This is Trooper Will Richardson of the Ohio State Highway Patrol's Bowling Green Post. Since 2017, 60% of people killed on Ohio roadways were not wearing a safety belt. It's simple. Safety belts save lives and reduce injuries and crashes. Remember, buckle up every trip, every time.
Falcons trail by 2, but there's time left in this second period. 7 minutes to be exact, less in this second period. Coming out of the media timeout, we are in the Mayo Clinic Health System Event Center in Mankato, Minnesota. Bowling Green is trailing the Minnesota State Mavericks. We'll take a look around the CCHA as well. Michigan Tech was tied 1-1 in the third period with St. Thomas, but Rylan Brown odd in the score on a power play. Chase Pietola and Max Koskapirti for the assists for the Huskies. They lead 2-1 with 3:45 left to play in the third period. Across the rest of the CCHA, Bemidji State leads Lake Superior State 3-2 still with 9 minutes left to play in the third. Ferris State over Northern Michigan 3-1 now. Northern Michigan's Aiden Hutchinson, spelled with a Y instead of an E, so not the same as the Lions player, is now in the third period, 11:51. Still trailing by 2 are the Wildcats, and then Minnesota State on top of the Falcons 2-1, as we know. Bergmanis, after the one faceoff by Minnesota State back into the zone. 12 faceoffs won to only 9. Minnesota State over the Falcons for the bookends of the best and the worst. Falcon the worst, or the best faceoff percentage. Minnesota State the worst. Evan Murr with the shot over into the center, and it was blocked by Dalton Norris, knocked down and caught by Cole Moore. Just about 30 seconds expired. Line changes for both teams. Falcons need to get a goal on the board here, head into the third intermission in the third period with a one-score game. Although, as a lot of people like to say, a 2-goal lead is the worst lead in hockey. Duran in the wheel, working Isley. Face-off won by Bowling Green. Pass up is blocked by Isley, who lays out for that one. Moravec is dumped into the zone. O'Hara up the near side. It's been a couple of shifts in a row, like every other shift for this first line of the Falcons. Duran, O'Hara, and Waters showing that Willie needs some scoring. The Falcons do. They're trailing by 2. Ashton across to Power. Power rings it around, but taking it out is McKinley. McKinley will be bumped by Moravec. Moravec working in near side. Still looking to get it away. Number 4, the left winger out of Airdrie, Alberta. The shot is kicked away from Colmore. Falcons with the puck now, taking it up into central ice. Across to Waters. Waters taking it down the center. Pass to Duran near side. Duran at the goal line working around, and he's picked away by Benincasa, who takes it up the far side of the ice now, working it over into the center. Pass to Grohl, and Grohl won't land, so Benincasa will go off. Pass across. Up. Bolson can't hold on. Grohl, Bolson, and Pitlick, the lineup for Michigan Tech in the forward end right now. Falcons with a 3-on-2 breakaway a little bit. Michigan Tech trying to get back. Crossing pass from Brett Foe, and it turns back around. Imonen with the puck in behind the goal line. Crossover, Foe with the puck, still looking for it. Chips it up a couple of times, and now Pitlick with a breakaway. What a great skater, but good stick work by Eric Parker to kick it with the stick away from Rhett Pitlick. Dangerous skater, dangerous passer as well. Zonka in the zone is kicked away again. Pitlick with the puck. Foe takes it now into the zone with his guys offsides, but tardy to the party. And Foe gets it mugged, and will have to go on the forecheck to try and poke it away. Lurkerberg comes in, steals the puck. Murr does the same to Lurkerberg. And Grohl gets checked, holds on to the puck, takes it up between his own wheels. Now up past his own blue line to the goal line, now up to the Falcon blue line. Dump it in the zone, leaving it back. The Falcons now with the puck. Dalton Norris up, intercepted. At central ice on the Bull, or Maverick here in the Mayo Clinic Ice Arena. Hillman battling for it with Lurkerberg. Lurkerberg to Fighton. Digging against, back to Hillman. Hillman with the puck, pass all the way up to Olsen. Brennan Olsen, the extra skating forward, playing as a right winger for Finn Williams a lot of this game. Shot in, saved by Cole Moore. He's been pretty good in this game. Another shot is blocked at the point by McKinley. McKinley presses up to the near side boards. Lackadaisical pass, center ice hit against Jaden Grant, who's still battling for the puck. Shot goes around Cole Moore. Stender to Wozni. Wozni back around to Martin, and Martin takes it up. He'll pass it across to McKinley, just a little bit long, puts it on a stick and goes for a change. Grant on the forecheck, taking it back around. Missed hit, and a good stick work to take it up into the zone off of Kranick. Pass across, Stjernberg dumps it up into the zone. Head full of steam for the defenseman. Low angle shot. That one had a chance, but Tracy knocked it up into the netting, and it fell down. 3 minutes left to play in the second period. Falcons still trail by 2, 3-1 Mavericks. Falcons have an even amount of shots. 3 less shots on goal, however. Trail now in faceoffs by 4, 13-9 in favor of the Mavericks, but lead in blocks 9-5. Ben Duran will be in the wheel for the Falcons now with his first line of O'Hara and Waters. O'Hara is the right, Waters is the left. Brigmanis battling for it with Isley behind. Waters and Duran, the other men. O'Hara looking to see if he can pick one off, but he can't do it. Off of the glass into the central ice. Norris with the puck will turn it away from his goaltender. Back to Waters. Waters pass across his own blue line, and now it'll stay back in the zone. MSU, Minnesota State with the puck, weaseling it in toward the middle. Good stick work, pass right. as Ben Duran was over in front to guard the cleanup man. Isley takes it in over the middle. This shot is kicked away by Cole Moore. Moravik battling in as well, being pressed up by Pastanen, who's just trying to stall the puck. 2:10 left to play in the second period. Falcons need a goal to go into this third period, only down 1. Pastanen through neutral ice off of the half wall and up. No icing is the call. Tracy wanted it. This pass is intercepted by Parker. Zonka putting a hit on. Pass up to Pitlick. Pitlick is mugged by Duran. Zonka back to Imonen. Imonen in the center. That was a chance for Ville Imonen, and he couldn't get the stick on the bouncing puck. Just couldn't settle it down enough. The Falcons with the puck now, working it in toward the goal line, and it's picked by Ashton. Now back to Foe. Foe with the puck, dumps it in. Zonka should be the first one there. He is. Powers gets his stick on it, though. Back to Ashton. Luke Ashton, defenseman, playing back. Pitlick up, past his own blue line, into center ice. Forwards for Minnesota State. Pretty strong. Not as strong as the defenseman, however. Just a strong team all around for the Mavericks. Emerson taking it all the way into the zone. Coast to coast shot saved by Tracy awkwardly. Back up, Grohl. Puck still in the O-zone, now finally taken out by Minnesota State. That was Mason Wheeler. Passing it with the puck in his D-zone. He'll settle it down, look for a pass up to central ice with Grant. Grant wears a check. Puck still behind Tracy. Pass out, centering pass, and it won't go. It'll just hit the stick. Stjernberg pass across, slap shot, works its way in. No D-man there to kick it away. Now it's finally kicked away. Waters past the goal line, pass up into the slot, tipped away with a stick in the lane. That was Brennan Olson, playing with a stick out at all times. Stender with the puck, left winger, working it on the right side of the ice. Taking it over into the center is Psychos, and Psychos is grabbed and held onto by Moore, who will stop play again with 13 seconds left in the second period. Looks like we're going to head into the intermission report with a 2-goal deficit for the Falcons as we head into the second with a 1-goal deficit, so only 1 goal allowed. That was Luke Ashton on the power play, 5:46 into the second, assisted by Evan Murr and Luciano Wilson, or Luke Wilson. That is Wilson's 4th assist and 5th point on the season. Evan Murr's 5th point and 5th assist as a third-line defenseman. In for the draw are the Falcons, won by Minnesota State, shot in by Bergmanis, into Luke Wilson. Wilson is losing it. Block shot by Ben Duran at the point. Another shot in, flailing sticks out there as time expires. Minnesota State trying to just get lucky and put one on, but they can't do it. But they will lead scoring in this second period as they did in the first. They have a 2-goal lead over the Falcons right now, 3-1 over Bowling Green. We'll come back in a few moments with the Marta Crow intermission report. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Don't let biased algorithms, or degree screens, or exclusive professional networks, or stereotypes. Don't let anything keep you from discovering the half of the workforce who are stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time to tear the paper ceiling and see the stars beyond it. Find out how you can make stars part of your talent strategy at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
Hey, son. How are you feeling?
I'm fine, Pops.
What's on your mind?
I can't explain it. Navigating without a compass, eyes waiting, started to wonder. Metamorphosis, the loss of who you thought you is.
When your kid can't find the language, help them find the lyrics. Listen to the Sound It Out album and get tips and tools to start a conversation at sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
Some of the best sounds you'll ever hear are generic. Safe. Effective. Even money-saving, just like FDA-approved generic drugs. Even if they don't come in the exact same color or shape as their brand name equivalents, they have the same key ingredients and go through a rigorous review process. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist today and visit fda.gov/generic drugs. Generics are safe, effective, and can save you money. You'll like the sound of that.
BGSU Hockey is back at the Slater Family Ice Arena for Game 2 of their series against the Northern Michigan Wildcats on Saturday, December 14th. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak at 6:45 for pregame and 7 p.m. for puck drop on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here. I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
My name is Jim. I'm a veteran, and I lost both legs in Vietnam. My victory was proving that disability is not a limitation.
I'm Julius. I'm a veteran. My victory was going from homeless to home.
At DAV, we're on a mission, helping veterans of all generations get the benefits they've earned.
I'm Cece. My victory was finishing my education.
When America's veterans win, we all win. Help us support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Hi, I'm Lauren Hovey on the BGSU volleyball team, and these are my Falcon 4 off-day activities. My first one would be spend time with family and friends if they're in town, because I love them. My second one would be read my book, because it's relaxing. My third one would be go get coffee, because who doesn't love coffee? And my fourth one would be go get groceries so I can make food for the week.
This is the story of Julie Guillot. She's a Leukemia and Lymphoma Society advocate and the mother of a child who battled blood cancer.
Zach was diagnosed with AML, a deadly leukemia, when he was only 5. He died at just 9 years old, really from the treatment that was meant to save him.
Today, the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society is pioneering breakthrough treatments for kids with cancer. Visit lls.org and save a child's life.
BGSU men's basketball returns to the Stroh Center to battle Morgan State on Saturday, December 7th. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Artie Abrego and Carter Leonard on the call at 1:45 for pregame and 2 p.m. for tip-off on Falcon Radio.
Welcome back into the Mayo Clinic Health System Event Center in Mankato, Minnesota. I'm Ben Korak from the Falcon Media Sports Network. You are listening to the Marta Crow Intermission Report. The late Marta Crow, a longtime fan of BGSU hockey with her husband Rick Crow, and they were avid listeners of WBGU 88.1 FM, BGSU hockey as well. Rick Crow sponsored our travel for the season. He is the reason we are in here to bring you this game with a Bowling Green call in the Mayo Clinic Health System Event Center. The Falcons have played very well today, not as well as they possibly could have, but they find themselves down 3-1 right now to Minnesota State. The lone penalty in this game really paid dividends for Minnesota State. A boarding call against Gustav Stjernberg in his first game back of the last 4. He got assessed for 2 minutes, and on the 2 minutes, Luke Ashton filled a power play goal, his third goal of the season, 7th total point, 5:46 into that second period. That was a lone goal in that second period, assisted by Evan Murr and Luciano Wilson. And it was a pretty good goal, especially on the power play. A power play for Minnesota State that has not been too stellar. Only a 158 power play percentage so far this season compared to the Falcons' 220. So not a stellar power play, but they definitely raised it right there with a power play goal, 1-for-1 on today's game. But other than that, it's been a pretty cleanly played game. No other penalties, not a whole lot of stoppages of play, not a lot of icings. A little bit of chippiness going on, but that happens in the CCHA, especially with a physical team in Bowling Green and a not-so-physical team in Minnesota State, playing more like a Big Ten or a NCHC team are the Mavericks. Colmore is up to 17 saves, 3 goals allowed for an .850 save percentage so far in this game. He's been pretty good as well. The first goal on a little bit of a defensive breakdown, the third, I should say, on the power play and the man advantage against him, and then the intermediate one was the one that he just got beat by Brian Carabas. It was a great shot, a great wrist shot from in between the wheels, just beat him. But Colmore definitely should have had that. But he's given up 3 goals and 17 total saves. Alex Tracy has been near perfect, 1 goal allowed on 16 total saves for a .941 save percentage. He's been very good in this game. Directional saving has been very good, but watching him, he is the best goaltender in the NCAA statistically, but looking at the defense behind him, Mason Wheeler, Campbell Psychos, Luke Ashton, Jordan Power, Ralph Bergmanis, and Evan Murr, it's very easy to believe that a lot of that can be attributed to the defensemen of Minnesota State. The puck is, or their stick is always in the lane. The puck is having a tough time making crossing passes, which is good defensive work for sure. The lack of penalties as well means that they're playing defense with their skates and not with their stick, which is something that the Falcons have improved upon this game, but in previous games has plagued them just a little bit with those stick-reaching penalties, i.e. the Fair State Series as well. A lot of stick-reaching penalties. Western Michigan early in the season when they scored 6 goals. A lot of those coming on power play and against stick-reaching penalties as well. The Falcons have done a good job of remedying that in this game. Their defense has been pretty strong. The power play, they have a man advantage. What are you going to do on that besides just not take the penalty at all on Sternberg? The other one was not necessarily a defensive breakdown, the one that Brian Carabas beat Colmore. The first one was a little bit, but it was on a breakaway on a 2-on-1, and they made a fantastic play to convert it. So the defense has been pretty good in this game. A couple of really nice shifts from Jack Blake, some from Breck McKinley as well. He's probably been the best defenseman on the ice today, maybe for either sides, but certainly for the Falcons. He hasn't scored a point in this game, but he's got a lot of defensive plays. Eric Parker's another one who's got 3 blocks on this game. McKinley's got 2 total. So they've been very good defensively, especially in putting their body on the line. So what do we need to see from the Falcons going into the third period? We need to see them take a little bit more offensive chance. We need to go full out offense. You're trailing by 2 goals, which is the worst league in hockey, quote unquote, but you still need 2 goals to be able to tie and take points against Minnesota State, the best team, I believe, in the CCHA, definitely a top 2 team in points and points percentage. So that's what you need to do. You just need to get the offense going. Your defense has been stellar, but you need to convert that into offense and still hold Minnesota State off the board. You cannot allow any more penalties in this game, because if you're going to give Minnesota State 2 minutes of just, even if they don't score a goal, if they just kill off time, that's 2 minutes of time that you're not going to be able to score a goal yourself, and that's almost more important than killing off the penalty if you are the Falcons. So we will take a step back just for a few moments, and when we bring you back, we'll have the Around the CCHA portion of our Marta Crow intermission report, and then puck drop of the third period. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
For far too long, animals on farms and ranches were not afforded protections to ensure their humane treatment and care. Luckily, times have changed, and more farmers are raising their animals in accordance with American Humane science-based standards, which offer ethically driven consumers humanely raised products. The next time you're in the grocery store, be sure to choose foods that are American Humane certified. To learn more, please visit AmericanHumane.org.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that our daughters have what they need to grow and learn. But that isn't the case for nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. that struggle with hunger.
Childhood hunger is a heartbreaking reality that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and provides it to families and children in need.
You can help kids in need in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
I'm probably okay to have one more drink before I drive home. I'm probably okay. I open the window to stay alert. Probably okay. I just popped some gum in my mouth.
Step out of the car, please.
I probably made a mistake.
Probably okay isn't okay when it comes to drinking and driving. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The Falcon women's basketball team looks to extend their winning streak to 3 games as they battle Xavier and the Stro this Saturday, December 7th. Join the Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer and Kaden Knapp on the call at 6:45 on WBGU 88.1 FM. BGSU Hockey second intermission report sponsored by Marta Crow, longtime BGSU hockey fan and listener of WBGU 88.1 FM, sponsoring our away travel for this 2024-25 BGSU hockey campaign. All away games broadcast to you by the Falcon Media Sports Network. We have our Around the CCHA segment of our intermission report now. Bemidji State beat Lake Superior State just now, actually, 4-2. A goal to close it out by Patrick Satisari from Bemidji State. Superfluous goal, 4-2. The final score in Sault Ste. Marie. The Lake Superior State Lakers lose a game as they are currently first place in points percentage. If Minnesota State wins this game, they will leapfrog them in the standings. Ferris State has beat Northern Michigan in Marquette, Michigan, so 2 away victories for Ferris State and Bemidji State combined, 3-1 Ferris State and Northern Michigan. The Northern Michigan goal scored by Aiden Hutchinson. The Ferris State scored by Gavin Best, Caden Galt, and Tyler Schlepp, 2 of those on the power play. We know Minnesota State leading the Falcons 3-1 off of goals from Adam Isley, Brian Carabas, and Luke Ashton. The goal for Bowling Green by Adam Zonka in the first period. And then Michigan Tech is currently leading St. Thomas. I don't know, the live stats page isn't really updating that quickly. The game could possibly be over right now. Last time I checked, Michigan Tech was on top 2-1. Rylan Brown with a slap shot goal on the power play in the third period, breaking the tie that had lasted since the first off a goal from Owen Baker from Michigan Tech and Mason Pullman for St. Thomas. As far as I know, the game is still going on, but it reads it as 3:20 left in the third period. For reference, in our first intermission report, there was 3:45 left in the third period. So I'm not going to trust that. It's 2-1 right now, Michigan Tech over St. Thomas, who's really fallen off a cliff this season, even though they have a very good team. So that's the Around the CCHA. Bemidji State beats Lake Superior State. Ferris State beats Northern Michigan. Minnesota State on top of Bowling Green. And as far as we know, Michigan Tech on top of St. Thomas. That game still with some time left to play. We will step aside just for a quick minute. When we bring you back, we will have puck drop of the third period. You just finished listening to the Marta Crow Intermission Report on WBGU 88.1 FM.
I'm Chris Jakovic. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakovic, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Sweet strawberry icing. You're in Goodwill, and just past that vintage denim jacket you spot miniature donut earrings. You lean in. Ah, that's the scent of shopping success. Because at Goodwill, every item you buy funds local job training and more. So bring home those donut earrings and bring home so much good to your community. Goodwill. Bring good home. Brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Health System Event Center. That is a mouthful to say. I'll just say Mayo Clinic Ice Arena from here on. We're in Mankato, Minnesota. The Falcons trailing the Mavericks 3-1 in favor of Minnesota State in their home barn, but the Falcons need 2 to tie and take points in the CCHA. They are on a 4-game winless streak. They've got 2 losses and 2 shootout wins during that time, so they've taken 4 points, but that's a lot of points left on the board. This shot from Carabas goes wide right. Paston tries to clear it back around. The Falcons striking right to left as they did in the first period. The Mavericks currently with the puck in the O zone. That's the right side of the Mayo Clinic Ice Arena. Shot now. This one goes high off of Stender. Stender with an open chance, but the wrist shot goes above the 6'6" frame of Cole Moore. Cleared out over into the center, taken away by Bowling Green. Pancakes it up the ice, caught and dropped by Emerson. Emerson still with the puck, leaves it back and intercepted by Stender, who gets it into neutral ice. The Falcons with the puck now. They possess the puck a lot in the first half of the first period since Minnesota State's been even or ahead in puck possession, and the deciding 2 goals coming on breakaways. And Brian Carabas, which is the game winner as of right now. This one is shot by Bolson, and it's caught and held onto by Cole Moore. We saw a lot of really good play from the Falcons in that first 10 minutes of the game. Haven't been able to get back to that possession since. And a main piece of that is the faceoffs that they just really have not been able to win consistently. That's missing Ethan Scardino, who's serving out suspension. That's what you're missing there, a lot of his faceoffs. 3 faceoffs won for Ben Duran and Ville Imonen. They're leading the team. But Johannes Lurkeberg is only 2 for 7 in his faceoff attempts, and the Falcons are trailing by 5 in faceoffs won. Ryan O'Hara with the puck, chips it back out to the blue line, shot in. Ooh, that one was closer than I thought it was going to be. Off the stick, went behind the goal, cleared back out to the blue line. Carabas taking it up into the neutral zone now, taken away by Waters. Waters working at far side, pass over into the slot, taken away by Murr, and he'll chip it up the ice. McKinley back over, settles it down to Wozni behind his own blue line. Now taking it up. O'Hara takes a hit. Pushing it back away. The puck takes it up the far side now. Dumped into the zone. Wozni will be the first one there. Where's the hit from Bolson? Gets it away. Pass up. Neutral zone. A lot of open ice in front of Lurkeberg right now. Looking for a pass. It's blocked. Bolson near side now. Taking it all the way down coast to coast. 200-foot right winger for Minnesota State. McKinley will come up with this one after fighting. Wears a pretty decently sized hit in the center with the puck on a skate. Pass over into the slot, again blocked by Jacob Stender. Another pass down in behind the goal line. Josh Grohl, where's a hit against the boards? That one was close to a boarding call. He just got his face flat against the boards. Nothing called. Rolling along the edge of the half wall. Bolson over into the center. Ashton with the puck now, takes it up into the zone. Cole Moore with the puck, settles it down. Bad pass by Cole Moore. Luke Wilson is there to try and pick it off, but the Falcons will still be battling for it behind. Poor decision by Cole Moore to field that one out and behind the net. That'll be one that he gets talked about in film. Thankfully, it didn't result in anything. Falcons trailing by 2, 17 minutes left to play in the third period. Last game to be played here in the, well, Augustana plays Alaska. So the last CCHA on CCHA game to be played here today. And a hand pass will be called, and the faceoff will exit the zone of Bowling Green. 16:52, 3-1 Minnesota State. They lead in shots on goal now, extending their lead to 4. But the shots are pretty tight. The Falcons only trailing by 4 in both shots on goal and total shots. Hillman across his own blue line. Psychos settles it down. Psychos and Wheeler are the best 2 defensemen, in my opinion, for Minnesota State. Haven't had a lot of shifts today. Zonka wears a hit, looking to get it away. Get it to Imonen in the center. Imonen takes the center ice hit, but the puck is out to the Falcons. Taking it through the center. Zonka chips it up into the air off of the stick of his defender. Still the puck, trying to get it back out to the point at the blue line, but can't do it. Taken away by Will Hillman. Hillman in the near side in front of the Falcon bench, and Willie still battling for it on the near side half wall. Eric Parker looks like he was going to come away with it. It's finally chipped away. Stjernberg with the puck behind, turns it back around. Parker with the puck, and he will go off the glass, up the ice into center. Foe, good pass across. He leaves it and thought Ben Duran was going to go for it, but he didn't. Odd forward line on the ice now as Foe looks to skate off. Now he finally will get off. O'Hara on the proper line with Waters and Duran. Playing back the Falcons with the puck, turning it back around. Duran behind, still working over into the slot. Ryan O'Hara with a shot, a couple. Tracy rejects both of them on the rebound chances. by Ryan O'Hara. Still yet to have a goal in this season. 9 assists. Tied for the highest scorer for the Falcons, just none of them coming on goals. And that's coming from the leading goal scorer for the Falcons last season. Falcons have yet to have a power play chance. Fighting with a big hit, clears it over into the center, and it's taken away by Rhett Pitlick. Pitlick takes it up the far side. Good stick work, good skating as well, but fighting with another good shift. He has played fantastic in this game. Where's the hit? The puck is taken away. Avoiding the hit is Niedermeyer. Psychos was going for the body, not the puck. Niedermeyer with good position here. Takes a hit, gets it to Fighton, battling on the far side boards. Niedermeyer working his way in. Pitlick gives him a little bit of a check. Peeling back around is Mason Wheeler. Psychos getting forechecked by Grant. Now back to Wheeler, and Wheeler will take it up without forecheck. It'll go off the half wall, back into the zone. Whistle blows. It's an icing as it clears from behind Cole Moore, and the faceoff will go back into the Minnesota State end without a change. Still 3-1. The Falcons need a goal soon, so that pulling the goalie means a whole lot more. When you get down to that 3-minute mark, 14:33 left to play in the third period, you need 2 to tie it up and force overtime. If they do it, it'll be the crossover into the center. Jaden Grant couldn't get it to fall. If they force overtime, it'll be the third overtime in 3 straight series. But they got to get there first. They need 2 more goals. Start with 1, then get to 2. Parker pass up into the center, perfect to Martin. Martin takes it up the far side. Max Martin looking back around, leaves it behind the goal line. Emerson battling for it, quite aggressive, working with Jacob Stender. Crossover, Pitlick knocks it out to the far side. The Falcons will chase it down into their D end. We're going to see a lot of that fourth line of Jacob Stender, Will Hillman, and either Brendan Olson or Finn Williams, because that's their puck possession. Not highly scoring, but they possess the puck, play really good defense for a forward line. It's the go-to for Minnesota State when they get this deep into a game with a 2-goal lead. Cross over into the slot on the blue paint. Cole Moore just misplayed it. That was a chance and a half for Minnesota State if they had a man in front. Foe with the puck into Luke Wilson. And it will go back into the Falcon D end. They'll settle it down and get the new line of forwards. Don't think the rest of the Falcons knew as Waters takes it up into the neutral zone. Duran with the puck, with the body up against the boards. O'Hara with center ice, now forcing it against the boards, looking to cross it. Waters with the puck, back to O'Hara, back to Duran. Duran battling for it. Minnesota State clears it back out, back into the D zone of the Falcons. And a whistle will blow on an icing, and we'll send it back into the zone of the purple and gold. Just under 13 minutes left to play in the third period. Adam Isley kicked off scoring, even strength goal in the first. Adam Zonka tied it up from the Falcons, the only Falcon goal in this game, even strength assisted by Ville Imonen and Tommy Passanen. And then Brian Carabas and Luke Ashton scored a goal, even strength and power play. And the second goal for Minnesota State in the first, and then the only goal in the second period. Now no scoring through over 7 minutes in the third. Crossover, O'Hara looking for a hit, but good play by Finn Williams to get it wide. Brennan Olson, again, on that fourth line, pass up, just goes deep. Did he get a stick on it? It's no icing as the Falcon touched it first. Finn Williams, now a whistle blows, and we'll get a penalty, I believe, assessed to Minnesota State, if I'm not mistaken. It will be to Minnesota State, and it will be to Jordan Powers. Something against the boards, possibly a tripping. It was on the half wall, and if it was tripping, I wouldn't have been able to see. For tripping is the call. So the Falcons will have their first power play of the game in the third period. 12:27 left. Man advantage for the Falcons. Huge opportunity to put a goal on, limit it back down to a 1-goal lead for Minnesota State. Face-off won by the Falcons. Wozni and Imonen dumps it back behind the goal line. Back out to the point. Duran back to Wozni. Wozni with a shot in. Zonka with the puck now. Working in. Duran blows a tire. And now an odd man rush for Minnesota State. The Falcons will get back in a couple of numbers. Working it in is Hillman. Hillman's tripped up by Cole Moore. No whistle on that play. Bowling Green takes it up with a 4-on-2. Back in, Wozni, whistle blows, and I think offsides is going to be the call against the Falcons. Minute 35 left to play in the man advantage for the Falcons. Have yet to get a true shot on goal. A puck that was close, but no cigar, as there's Max Martin, Ryan O'Hara, and what looks to be Brody Waters on the ice with Dalton Norris and Breck McKinley. Offensive lineup. Back into the D zone, one face-off for the Falcons. They are still trailing 13-18, and face-offs won, surprising because Minnesota State is the worst face-off team in the CCHA. O'Hara cross into the center. Nobody there, chip back up to center ice, and McKinley will have to settle it down on the Bull logo in the center. Taking it up back in is O'Hara. O'Hara weaving it in to Norris. Norris back out to the point. McKinley back to Norris on the wheel on the far side. Martin into Waters, who gets it picked away, and Carabas will ice this one down. I'm sorry, that's Jacob Stender. Will ice it down. That's how you know that that's the 2-goal lead line for Minnesota State, is because they're out here on the penalty kill as well. 40 seconds left in the man advantage for the Falcons. Haven't had a truly good chance yet. Imonen screaming in, keeping the puck, pass across the blue line, and literally across the blue line. The Falcons will have to get back on side. Zonka pass around the horseshoe, back around to Imonen. Imonen trying to dig it off and get it to his guy at the point. 20 seconds left in the man advantage. Ben Wozni with the puck now, working in. Near side wheel, shot is blocked. Another shot! Oh, had the open look. On the doorstep again, can't be iced by Minnesota State. They will hold on to it now in the D zone, wait for pressure, now ice it, and they will have effectively killed off the first and only penalty of this game for the Falcons.
Mavericks, full strength.
Full strength as Jordan Power comes back out. Pass turned over. Rhett Pitlick, the transfer from Minnesota, 5 goals, 8 assists on the season, no points in this game. That second line has been the high-scoring line. 4 points from that second line. A whistle blows, I believe. Offsides is going to be the call. Nope, we're going to get a penalty. Assessed to Niedermeyer. What was the call? For hooking is the call. I didn't see anything. Niedermeyer doesn't like it either. Neither does Willie. But the Falcons will fail to convert on a man advantage, and then we'll head to a penalty kill right after with 10 minutes left to play in the third period. Oh, that's not hooking. Come on. Penalty kill for Bowling Green. Minnesota State looking to put this game away with another goal. They lead 3-1. Shot from Jordan Power. Back across, another slap shot. Kick saved by Cole Moore. Back out to the side. Moore's got 18 saves and 3 goals allowed in this game. Pass up to Power again. Up to Pitlick. Pitlick with good stick work, working his way in. Colmore steps out of the goal to push the puck away. He does so cleanly. Back to Bolson. Bolson looking for a pass, blows a tire. Falcons on the puck like hyenas on a dead antelope, and they clear it out of the zone. 9:30 left to play in the third period. 3-1 Minnesota State. Good penalty for Minnesota State to accept, because even if they don't convert a goal, they're wasting a lot of time, wasting a lot of energy for the Falcons. Not a lot of offense to produce from the team that's down 2 goals. Near side, Luke Wilson. Looking in, shot over, across, the shot. Oh, saved by Cole Moore with the stick. And it'll be iced back out to the blue line, kept in. That was a chance for Luke Ashton, who takes it near side. Evan Murr, cross, back up to Ashton. Ashton in the middle. Has a goal in this game. Back up to Murr, who has an assist in this game on the Ashton goal. Turns it back around. Defenseman, back to defenseman at the blue line. Ashton working in, looking for a pass. Got it in the near side. Luke Wilson with a shot blocked at the point from the Falcons. Evan Murr, pass across into the point. Luke Ashton with a slap shot, and it's covered up by Cole Moore and dropped with 32 seconds left to play in the man advantage for the Mavericks. 8:30 in the third period. Falcons down 2. But still on the penalty kill. Cole Moore, the replay on that save. He saved it with the tape on the very end of his stick. Just barely. Falcons still on the penalty kill. 4 men on for Bowling Green. And they'll ice this one away. It'll at least waste 15 seconds without a scoring chance. Alex Tracy, the goaltender for Minnesota State, 18 saves, 1 goal allowed. He's been fantastic in this game, as he has all season. Working in, Pitlick with the pass. Up into the air, Bolson drops it down. Passanen turns it back around. Great stick work from Tommy Passanen to ice this one back away, and that'll kill off the penalty for the Falcons. 1 for 2 on penalty kills are Bowling Green on today's game. Penalty assessed to Niedermeyer, penalty assessed to Sternberg. Sternberg's results in a goal. Niedermeyer's does not. Parker with the puck now, clears up into the space between the wheels. O'Hara goes off the glass into the zone. Still battling to be the first one there. Psychos, where's the puck? Lurkeberg keeps the puck in. Parker slaps it in. O'Hara's behind. All by his lonesome, blows a tire. Looks to pass over into the slot, can't get it done. Pass off the boards, Brennan Olsen to himself off the glass. Waters now takes it up through the blue line, pass over into O'Hara, just a little bit behind him. He couldn't get his stick behind his head to hold on to that one. Minnesota State in through the zone. They can just waste time here. They probably should. They have a 2-goal lead with 7 minutes and 10 seconds left to play in the third period. Falcons got to get a goal soon, worry about getting Colmore out of the net, and a man advantage 6-on-5 coming up soon, hopefully, for the Falcons. Still battling for it in the far side corner of the boards. Zonka working with the Monin for Bowling Green, up to the point. Shot from Passanen goes high. Norris with another shot in, low angle, clears back around to Passanen on the far side blue line. His pass is blocked. Psychos takes it up to Benincasa. Into the zone, dumped back, Passanen. Crossing play, Wilson can't get it over into the center. The Falcons off the high glass. Drop down, Emerson. Quinn Emerson leaves it back in the D zone of the Falcons. They will take a second, settle down, let their right personnel get on. Pass up into the center, just long. Carabas working it up, near side. Goal and an assist in this game. This shot is saved by Cole Moore as he wears a big hit over the center in the slot. Slap play, Falcons out into the center. Tip up to O'Hara. O'Hara, good pass in. Shot saved by Alex Tracy into his chest. That one was from Jaden Grant. We'll get a whistle, and we should have our media timeout pretty late in this third period. Just under 6 minutes left to play in the third. Falcons need one and need one soon. You're listening to Bowling Green Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with, all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week, she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
You are listening to WBGU 88.1 FM, your exclusive home for BGSU hockey, volleyball, and women's basketball.
Falcon Women's Track competes in the Tom Wright Open at Perry Fieldhouse on Saturday, December 7th. Falcon Media Sports Network will have a recap of the event on bgfalconmedia.com.
Three to 1 game here in the Mayo Clinic Ice Arena. The Mavericks on top of the Falcons. Minnesota State in their home barn looking for a home win. Their first outright home win since November 15th against Northern Michigan here in a 3-0 victory. The Falcons still got some time, though, coming out of this media timeout. 5:57 left to play in the third. And ideally, you would need a goal in the next 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes or so. Make sure it's a 1-point game so that when you pull Cole Moore and put him on the bench and an extra skater on, you're doing it with a 1-goal lead with a chance to tie it up and play even strength out in the rest of the third period and possibly guarantee points by heading it into overtime. Falcons just killed off a penalty a second ago. Jackson Niedermeyer. The first penalty of the game assessed to Jordan Power from Minnesota State. They killed theirs off, so 2 penalties, 2 penalty kills for either of these squads in this game, or in this period, I should say. The only other penalty to Sternberg, and it resulted in a goal in the second for not the greatest power play unit in the CCHA. Crossover into the slot, won't get there. Ryan O'Hara turns it back around, pass over in, and Quinn Emerson was a little bit too deep. Passed a little bit too behind him. Parker gets his feet swept out from under him, but I don't think it was because of the defensive player. I think he just blew a tire against the boards. Looking in, turning it back is Isley. Isley in. Moravec. Tipped away from the Falcons. Good job at prying that one off the boards. Eric Parker with the puck now just narrowly avoids a tripping. Taking it all the way in, crossover into the slot, and a score from Caden Bolson. .14:58, the time of that goal by Caden Bolson in the third period, giving Minnesota State a 4-1 lead over the Falcons. Even strength goal for Minnesota State. Their third even strength goal with the power play goal to boot as well. Face off after, there will be no challenge. Carabas was really in there on the blue paint to beat Cole Moore. It was a great pass by Mason Wheeler. The only goal of this game that has not had 2 assists. 4-1 Minnesota State over Bowling Green with 4:40 left to play. Tall order for the Falcons to bring back into this one. Brett Foe working his way in. Alex Tracy with a great save, laying fully out for that one on Brett Foe's good stick work and a backhand chance. Wozni up into the neutral zone. Now clicked away. Power takes it up, near side, looking for a pass. Backhand, won't get to Stender. Back across, Lurkerberg takes it up. The centerman, fourth line centerman for the Falcons today. Turns it back around, a push on the man with the puck. Forcing it free. The Falcons on a 2-on-4. As it gets into the zone, they will not hold on. Benning Kaza, transfer from Ferris State last season. If you remember, 16 points. One of the highest rookie scorers in the CCHA. A little bit of a down year for him. 3 goals, 2 assists, nothing in this game. Crossover just a little bit too close to the goal line. Niedermeyer with the puck now, battling behind Tracy. Tracy is still nearly perfect. The only goal given up in the first period, 20 saves to go along with that only 1 goal for a .952 save percentage. Above average in both departments today for him. A 1.37 goal allowed per game guy with a .947 save percentage. And even for how outstanding that is, he's had an above average game. Ducking in is McKinley. It'll be flipped back out into the D zone of the Falcons, but Bowling Green will collect. McKinley pancakes it up into O'Hara. O'Hara drops it. Where's the hit? Center ice, gets it away. Isley with the puck now after the turnover. Back around. Colmore will put a stick on it, settle it down. Whistle blows as Emerson and somebody are getting locked up in front of the Falcon bench. Was that? It looked to be Mason Wheeler as more pushing and shoving. Psychos with Ryan O'Hara at the end of that one. I don't know if penalties will be assessed. I don't think so, but play literally stops for Quinn Emerson and Mason Wheeler to get untangled. So the referees may talk about this. And Emerson and Isley will be sent out. Assuming roughing is going to be on both of them, if not at least one of them. Minor roughing for both players. Adam Isley, who's got a goal and an assist in this game, gets his first penalty, and Quinn Emerson, who hasn't done a whole lot in this game but has had some pretty good shifts. He has 4 shots and 1 shot on goal. He's got 2 penalty minutes now to go along with it. The Falcons and the Mavericks will play a 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes with only 2:58 left in the third period. So all chance of the Falcons pulling the goalie are out the window. One with the Caden Bolson goal just a few minutes ago in the 14:58 mark. And also because it's a 4-on-4, that'd be a risky move to pull the goalie in a 4-on-4. The faceoff will be in front of the Falcon bench on the inside right part of neutral ice here in the Mayo Clinic Health System Event Center. Still a sizable crowd here in Minnesota State, even though this game is pretty out of reach of the Falcons. Dalton Norris with the puck now. The Falcons are now trailing in faceoffs won by 8. At one point it was pretty even. Now it's 8. And the Falcons just not playing a good, solid game after those first 10 minutes that they had. Very good. That first period altogether was very great, even though they were trailing 2-1 after it. Minnesota State with the puck now. Evan Murr up past his own blue line, looking in, staying on sides is Finn Williams. Williams turns it back around. Giving pressure is Max Martin. Falcons have to look for turnovers now as much as humanly possible. No icing. Now Ryan O'Hara with the breakaway. Looking in, trying to beat him, and he shot it wide right of Alex Tracy in the goal. It's one you got to have. It's still a 4-1 game with just under 2 minutes left to play and under a minute left in the 4-on-4. Zonka wears a hit, center ice, gets it away. Going in for a hit. And a cross check. Will Hillman back to Wheeler. Wheeler across, wears a hit, but gets it away. The Falcons just going for bodies now, but they should be going for pucks as they need to turn over as much as possible, limit this lead as much as they possibly can. Minute and a half left in the third. He's just camped out behind his goaltender Alex Tracy before the Falcons are going to give pressure. Tracy screening Ville Imonen, who now comes around the left side. Psychos will take it outside the right. Toe drag. Williams misses it. Finn Williams, the sophomore out of North Vancouver, British Columbia. Canada, of course. 1 minute left in the period. And even strength for both players. Quinn Emerson back on. And Adam Isley back on, looking to cherry pick. Now he calls for a change, as Quinn Emerson will just play his position. And with 45 seconds left, the Falcons will collect the puck in their own zone. Cole Moore will cover it up and go for a change as more pleasantries are being exchanged in front of the blue paint for the Falcons. But it's looking like the Falcons will not take any points in this game, the first of a 2-game set against Minnesota State. There's 42 seconds left on the clock, but they need 3 games to force overtime, or 3 goals to force overtime in this third period. And I don't know about you, but I think that's a little bit out of reach. Possessed puck a decent amount, some offensive chance, not a whole lot. The defense for Minnesota State proved to be too much. The power play goal by Luke Ashton, really the decider, even though it's not going to go down as the game winner. That allowed Minnesota State to play back a lot of the time, allowed them to play full defense, and when an already good defensive team is playing complete not 5-man, but 3-man defense most of the time, it's really hard to get goals in on the net. Less than 30 left in the third period. Minnesota State just wasting time. The Falcons are chasing with some forecheck, putting on some hits, trying to force the puck free, but it's probably going to be a fruitless endeavor. 15 seconds left. The Falcons take it up into the neutral zone, leaves it back into the zone, less than 10. The cheers start to erupt here in the Mayo Clinic Ice Arena. Jack Blake brings it back around. Seth fighting with the puck. He loses it. And the time will expire here for this game between the Falcons and the Mavericks. Minnesota State will win 4-1 and regulation. Their first home game since November 16th. They convert for a win. A pretty decent game played from the Falcons, but not the greatest, especially in that second and third period. I'll unpack it in just a few moments. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Everyone knows texting while driving is a recipe for disaster, but other forms of distracted driving, like changing the radio station, putting on makeup, or talking with the passenger can be just as dangerous. This is Trooper Tony Shirley of the Ohio State Highway Patrol's Bowling Green Post. Every time someone takes their eyes or focus off the road, even for just a few seconds, they put their life and the lives of others in danger. Distracted driving is unsafe and the consequences can be devastating. Help us drive to save lives, never drive distracted.
Falcon hockey returns to Slater Family Ice Arena to face Northern Michigan on Friday, December 13th. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak and Nathan Burkett at 6:45 for pregame and 7 p.m. for puck drop on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Hello?
Man, where are you? I thought you were coming.
I can't. I'm in bed with the flu.
The flu? Whoa. Grandma's about to crowd surf. Man, I'll call you back.
Don't get stuck at home with the flu. A flu shot is safe, effective, and you can get it at the same time as your COVID-19 vaccine. A flu shot is the best way to prevent the flu and its potentially serious complications. Don't get flu FOMO. Learn more at getmyflushot.org.
Brought to you by the AMA, CDC, and the Ad Council.
BGSU men's basketball hits the road to take on the Kansas City Roos on Saturday, December 14th. Check out the preview and recap on bgfalconmedia.com. Welcome back to the Mayo Clinic Health System Event Center. The Falcons just fell to the Minnesota State Mavericks by a score of 4-1. They are doing the stars of the game. Adam Isley, the 3-star of the game. Luke Ashton, the 2-star of the game. And what I'm sure is going to be the 1-star of the game is going to be Alex Tracy, the goaltender. Oh, no, it's not. It's going to be Brian Carabas. 1 goal, 1 assist. The game winner from Carabas in the 15:09 mark in the first period, preceded by Adam Zonka, the only goal for the Falcons, and Adam Isley, the first goal for Minnesota State. The superfluous ones, Luke Ashton on the power play off of Gustav Sternberg's penalty in the second period. The only score in the second period, and then the only score in the third period. Caden Bolson, and an even strength of the pass from Mason Wheeler, fills it in the 14:58 mark in the third period. Falcons final score 4-1 for Minnesota State over Bowling Green, who were just barely outshot in the shot on goal battle. They did outshoot in the shots battle, but the face-off battle and the puck control battle was something that the Falcons did not do a great job of. In the first 10 minutes of the game, they were playing pretty even with Minnesota State. It looked very promising for the Falcons, especially the way they were holding on to the puck and getting some great offensive chances and some great drills in the Minnesota State D zone. But as the game progressed, Minnesota State caught their stride a little bit, held the puck a little bit more. In the last 3 minutes of the first period, they pretty much toyed with the Falcons, and then it came out in the second with a little bit less pressure, but still some pretty great pressure, and they held the puck the majority of the time for the rest of the game. And a lot of that was due to the Falcons just not winning as many faceoffs as they possibly could in this game. Minnesota State won 23. The Falcons only won 14. So Bowling Green trailing that department that they're normally fantastic in. They're normally a great face-off winning team, but some of that could be attributed to Ethan Scardina not in the lineup today to take as many draws as he normally does. The draws for the Falcons: 5 wins for Ben Duran, but 6 losses. 4 wins for Ville Monin, but 3 losses. Jaden Grant with 3 wins and 5 losses. And Johannes Lurkerberg, the fourth-line centerman, filling in for Ethan Scardina today, as the extra centerman had only 2 wins to 6 total losses. And then losses to 1 Quinn Emerson and 2 to Ryan O'Hara on the day as well for Bowling Green. The 1 goal for the Falcons came from Adam Zonka in the 10-minute mark of the first period. Even strength, assisted by Ville Monin and Tommy Passinen. Those were the only score. That was the only score of the game for the Falcons, but they did have some pretty sizable amount of shots spread out. 5 shots for Brett Foe and Eric Parker. 4 shots for Quinn Emerson, Ryan O'Hara, Tommy Passinen, And shots on goal, 3 apiece for Brett Foe and Eric Parker, and 2 for a couple of other Falcons, 1 spread across the board. Penalties, it was a low penalty game for Bowling Green. Only 3 total penalties, 6 total minutes of penalties. Sternberg with the first in the power play goal, and then Niedermeyer and Emerson. Emerson with an offsetting that forced that 4-on-4 at the end of the game, and then Niedermeyer with the one that the Falcons were able to kill off. So they were 1 for 2 on their penalty kill. They were 0 for 2 on their man advantages. The penalties assessed to Jordan Power and Adam Isley for Minnesota State. That was their only 2 penalties of the game. They stayed well under their average as well. So a pretty clean game from both sides. Again, there are the goals scored by Isley, Ashton, Bolson, and Carabas, with the assists spread out between Wheeler, Wilson, Psychos, Murr, Isley, and Ashton each had 1. Carabas had 1 as well, and Bolson. So 2-point games from Isley, Ashton, and Carabas. Highly shot game from Brian Carabas as well. 7 shots on goal, led both teams by almost double, and then 8 total shots. He was fantastic in this game. The game winner, he had beat Colmore right over in between the wheels. No defenseman stepped up, but Colmore had a one-on-one that you would expect him to win, and he just didn't put it right through the 5-hole, and he beat Colmore for the game winner in this game. Again, final score, Minnesota State 4-1 over Bowling Green. So we will head into the game tomorrow with the Falcons 0 for 1 in the series. They will drop back down to 5-6-2 overall and 3-2 overall in the CCHA, a game played with no points to take. They will look to take more points tomorrow, but Minnesota State, a great team, number 15 overall in the NCAA, and according to RPI, number 13. So as a little bit of expected. I should mention the goaltenders as well. Colmore allowed 4 goals with 20 saves for an .833 save percentage, and Alex Tracy, as normal, 20 saves, 1 goal allowed for a .952 save percentage. Even above average game for how fantastic of a tender he's been this season. Number 33, the junior, catches left. He's 1.37 goals allowed per game and a .947 save percentage. 3 shutouts. He avoided it He missed it narrowly by 1 goal in the first period today. All those stats are going to go up before the game tomorrow. So on the side of our Falcon Media Sports Network Pick the Stick, Lucas Kleinmeyer chose Ben Duran, who got no points in this game. Tyler Cavalitz chose Cole Moore, who started with 3 points and then lost 1 for each goal he gave up. He finished with -1 points on the game. Nate Henners, our board op for today. Nate, thank you for pressing the buttons for us. He chose Ryan O'Hara, who didn't get a point in this game. And I actually got my first win of the season. Adam Zonka with the lone goal in this game. What a pull by me, actually, for the first goal of the college career for Adam Zonka and the first goal in orange and brown for the freshman out of Detva, Slovakia, and the acquiree from Des Moines in the USHL. Absolutely fantastic game for Zonka. He had a lot of great shifts. Across the rest of the Falcons, just looking down the order, Foe had some pretty good offensive shifts. Imonen really stepped into a pretty good centerman spot today in place of Scardino, as he is out for suspension. He will be back tomorrow. Zonka, I think, had the best day of any Falcon, not just because he had the goal, but just the way he played. He played off the puck very well. He wasn't afraid to hit. He wasn't afraid to get hit, get the puck away. He made some pretty key passes in some spots that unfortunately didn't result in goals, but he ended up filling for the Falcons, and he had a very good day. Breck McKinley's another one on the defensive end, probably the best defenseman today. Sternberg had a very good defensive day. McKinley had a lot of good passes. He was a mainstay on the power play opportunity for the Falcons as well. Didn't get a point, but he got a couple of shots, and he played great in this game versus Minnesota State. So with that, we'll wrap up our call. 4-1 final score, Minnesota State over Bowling Green. Player of the game for the Falcons, have to give it to Adam Zonka with the only goal for the Falcons. Player of the game overall, I'm going to give it to Alex Tracy for his 20 save, 1 goal allowed performance. Absolutely fantastic. You expect to win the game when your goaltender gives up only 1 goal. So he played great today and probably the overall player of the game. We just covered our Pick the Stick. Special thank you to Lucas Kleinmeyer and Tyler Cavalitz, our directors of the Falcon Media Sports Network, for allowing me to broadcast here in Mankato, Minnesota, as well as Rick Crow, who sponsored the Falcon Media Sports Network hockey travel this season. All BGSU away games hosted by the Falcon Media Sports Network and sponsored by Rick Crow, who has the first intermission report and the Marta Crow second intermission report. So thank you, Rick, if you are listening. Our next broadcast coming up, men's basketball plays tomorrow at home in the Stroh Center against Morgan State. Artie Brago and Carter Leonard will be on the call at 2 p.m. on Falcon Radio. So men's basketball against Morgan State. Go to the Stroh Center, watch, or tune in to Falcon Radio on bgfalconmedia.com. Women's basketball, plays at home against Xavier. Lucas Kleinmeyer and Kaden Knapp, our women's basketball beats, will be on the call at 7 p.m. They have the WBGU slot tomorrow. So our game against Minnesota State, again here in Mankato, will be on Falcon Media. I will be on the call again at 7 p.m. Tomorrow night. So those are the broadcasts coming up from the Falcon Media Sports Network. If you want to read news and updates, including the recap of today's game, go to bgfalconmedia.com or follow us on BG_FMSN on Twitter, as well as go follow and keep updated with the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel, where we post the rebroadcasts of all our Falcon Media Sports Network broadcasts, as well as highlight packages and other video content as well. So with that, we will sign off for today, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow on Falcon Radio on the BG Falcon Media website. You're listening to WBGU 88.1 FM, your home for every game of BGSU hockey.
This broadcast has been a Falcon Media Sports Network production. For more BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN, BG Falcon Media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and head over to BGFalconmedia.com.